welcome to another episode of the Black Guy Who Tells podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Saturday morning, ready to do some feedback. Find us everywhere you get podcasts. Today's episode is all about you. You wrote in, you left voicemails. I didn't even check the voicemails yet, but you did things that you wanted to say. Hey, I heard what you were talking about. I want to say something too. And we're going to respond to you today.
Mm-hmm.
So how about you? The official weapon of the show is
the folding chair.
And the unofficial sport,
bullet ball.
And bullet ball. Extreme. Of course, you know, there are people, very special people who are very close to our hearts that give us money. Okay. This is the quickest way to our hearts. Okay. We just some hoes. When it comes down to it, okay, we go where the money goes. And they gave us money. They went to the blackouttips.com. They looked on the right hand side. They said, should I donate? And they said yes. And they said one time, 2 times. We don't care. We give you a shout out for donating, period.
We don't care.
Same shout out for everybody. Let's go ahead and give y'all's propers.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's Own Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tie to the Black Guy Who Tips.
That's right. New dinero, new heroes. We got Jasmine A with the recurring donation. Michael Irvin, the playmaker. Waist Bees by Sura. Deborah O. Michael F. Stefan H. Mary H. Allison H. A lot of H's coming through. The H family is visiting in town.
In the house.
Jeff M. Jonathan H. Brian B. Early Days of Photography. J. Full. Mako H. Nicole F. Marvin B. Yes. Marvin B. Michael W. Asia D. Chriselle B. Annie P. Annie, are you okay? I hope so. And Michael S. Those are the people that gave us money this week. Thank you for this recurring donation. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
That part right there. All right, let's talk about 5-star reviews. Okay, we got some. You know,
Yay!
It's been a while. The last time somebody left a review was 1 star, and I realized it was the same person just sending reviews over and over, being a dick. And I said, all right, I got to stop fucking rewarding people for this shit. So we stopped talking about it. But we got 3 new ones since then. Okay. 5 stars, one of the best podcasts ever. Ant from Savannah says, thank you very much. Mo 5 stars, and thanks for giving me a reason to finish The Walking Dead. This is from Mr. B. Mont, who says, you two know that at least I'm listening. Karen and Rod, this is an update from an old review, but I wanted you to know that this at least I'm listening. For a while, I did not have access to AMC and would listen to your Walking Dead recast and stay up to date with the show. When you stopped, I stopped. Then I never picked it up, and when The Walking Dead moved to Netflix with all 11 seasons, but now I'm back and I'm able to watch along with your recast. It feels good to be back. Thank you for deciding to complete this entertaining show and giving us that never finished it either something to look forward to either. Those that never finished it either, something to look forward to each week.
Thank you. And the thing is, like you say, when we picked up, I was like, yeah, I really love the show, but life started lifing, y'all. That's the biggest reason why. And so I'm glad that people are actually enjoying it. People are actually listening. So we appreciate y'all going through this 2 years later. Thank you. Thank you for hanging with us.
Yeah, it means the world to me that some of y'all hung on to do this, you know. And also, you know, low key, it also means a lot to me that we don't have anyone complaining, because I know there's people that probably skip these episodes. Right. You know, we see the numbers, or people that, you know, like, why they talking about this? It's already over. And we haven't gotten any of those complaints because I think people just understand the vibe. So I appreciate our audience.
Yeah, they was like, they just catching up. That's cool.
Last one is from Fatty Hammond, who says, my favorite podcast. I've been a listener for years. Rod and Karen are the best. They are thoughtful, funny, and bring such a unique point of view to such a wide range of topics. They are so likable, and each episode makes my day a little bit brighter. I would give this podcast 10 stars if I could. Let's go.
Oh,
thank
so
you.
Sweet.
We appreciate you. Okay.
We do.
All right. Let's get into the people that left comments on our website. Okay. theblackguywhotips.com. You can leave comments because we make a post for each episode. The last episode, the first episode of last week is episode 2773. This is 45. And it was when it's not about President Trump. Okay, it's not about him going to jail. It's about the former criminal in chief.
It's not that 45.
Yeah, it's about my age, me turning 45. Yeah, let's get into this one. We had 5 comments. Okay, on this feedback show. Of course, the first comment is from
Apia.
Correct. Terrible people can be conventionally very attractive, and also good, nice people can be unattractive. We learn from fairy tales and movies that the hero, the good person, is beautiful one, the bad person, the ugly one, as if the beauty was the reward for goodness, and ugliness is a sign from God that to all of us to watch out. I agree so hard on this. And I don't know, man. To me, it feels similar to like when people say an artist or a person isn't entertaining or good, regardless of how fucking popular and rich and all this shit is, where it's like they're trying to, because, and I get it, we're emotional people, we get upset about things. We don't want good things for quote unquote bad people. But I understand, for me personally, I need to acknowledge the reality of the world. Even when I'm upset, I have to be like, it's like saying, oh, this person doesn't look attractive when, the world is treating them so attractive. It's like, well, obviously that person's attractive to most people. I'm the one that doesn't think they're attractive. You know what I'm saying? But also I will say this, because like I said, I was listening to What's the Tea, and Nick Jew was talking about Lauren Boebert. I have a similar vibe of like this. I think there's a lot of, for lack of a better term, but just like white women that are just like, they're just like off the rack, clothing or whatever. And people go out of their way to go up for them.
Yes.
And I think that's the weird part, because it's not that Lauren Boebert is not attractive or something, but it's like the way people like go, like, it's like we need to go on and on about this as if like there's zero Lauren Boeberts in the world. It's like she's kind of getting by on that hot girl at work thing of she's in a Congress full of old ass wrinkly people,
right? And
she doesn't look like one, and so people are talking about her as if she's fucking, a supermodel or something. And people, that's just kind of what people do with that environment. And I think, also in a world where we're constantly critiquing and talking about other people's bodies and appearances and attractiveness, there's like an allure to this idea of like, would you fuck a person you hate? And I've never been into that, even as a vein of comedy. Like I just find it to be like, in addition to being a little bit cliche, I find it to be more like I don't know. It always makes me wonder if the person's gonna like backdoor into some like, and I'm just saying I disagree with the point, but I think they're attractive, as if like there's a good reason for them to exist or something.
Right, it's gender wars. All this stuff boils down. Once I understood the concept of gender wars, and once I understood there are certain keywords, phrases, things, people, places, and shit that you can bring up that it might not quote unquote initially start as that, but I've been around enough to know, oh, that's going to turn to gender wars type of thing. And also, I also think, truth be told, white supremacy has fucked everything up, because it's one of these things where a lot of this quote unquote attractiveness and all this stuff, a lot of times on a white people scale. And so a lot of black people go, what the fuck? Like, I'm beautiful too, and nobody ever considered me beautiful, so fuck that bitch. Like sometimes I think that's where a lot of the anger comes.
The thing for me too is like, I try not to talk too much about people being unattractive.
Right.
Mostly, it's a choice I made with the show and stuff. Like, and it's just my line. I'm not knocking anybody else's line. I also talk about people I find attractive. I try not to turn every conversation about a woman into like, I will fuck her. Like there's a lot of people that do that. Here's why I wouldn't fuck her or whatever. I think that's super fucking weird because when are you gonna be in a situation like it just makes no sense?
And these are your own personal preferences.
Yeah, exactly. And it just comes off. The thing I think people always forget: there's other people that look like that you like.
Correct.
And like, and especially like for I think there's hangups around especially Black women's bodies where there are Black women that have a body like Miley Cyrus.
Yes.
There are Black women that have a body like Lauren Boebert. There's Black women. And so when you start being like, this type of person isn't attractive because I don't like them, or you're like, look at your little ass or whatever. There's Black women that got little asses. Like, what message are you trying to send to these people? And this is not me saying Nick Jew's doing this. This is just me talking
in general. Yeah, when you go across the internet, right?
And so I try to be kind of careful about talking negative about people's bodies because I just feel like we're putting something out into the universe and there's people that they have hangups about the shit already, and then here I am going, ugh. And you think you're hitting a specific target. You think I ain't talking bad about one person, and it's just you never are really.
Right. And the thing is, I'm not above this, and I am guilty of this, and being guilty of saying, things on the show. But like Roger said, it was.
Everybody is. If you talk for hours like we do, you will eventually get to this point where you will say something about somebody. You're just not thinking about it. It is ingrained in all of us. It's in society. We're always evaluating each other's looks and appearances and bodies and shit. And we all know the hangups that are caused by this, and yet we continue to participate in it. I don't think we're gonna solve it. I'm not, saying these things because I'm gonna fix this or I pledge to never talk. Like, no, if I see Serena Williams, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, sit on my face. But there's certain people that I will see and I'm not gonna have that thought. And I don't want to spend my show being like, or our show being like, ugh, not this bitch, like it's just weird.
Yes, and it's one of those things where, for me, it does, and like I say, now as we've done the show over the years, as I've kind of challenged myself and grown and kind of learned how to view things very differently, a lot of times that those things have a tendency to come out when I'm angry or I dislike something.
Yeah.
Or, so I had to piece that together, go, oh, hey, what, in no other time would I do this. Why is this coming out now?
Yeah, and I think the thing for me, more importantly, with the Borbard thing is just the context, and it's and it's not just her; it's everybody. I need the context because there's a privilege that these people exist in that is because the world decided that this is what a conventionally attractive person looks like.
Correct.
And she's a fucking bobblehead. She is a fucking idiot.
Yes, she is.
She is a horrible, bigoted piece of shit. And part of the reason she gets to be that is because she doesn't, quote unquote, look a certain way.
Right.
And if she looked a different way, there would be, you see less spaces available to her. You see less people putting her on TV.
Right.
There's a thing happening that is centered around, and Sarah Palin was a good example of this, that is centered around the idea of overinflating her attractiveness, but also she is privileged in this certain level of attractiveness to where these people, reward her for this bullshit. About Jan Winter, of course, Jan Winter, I'm sorry. Of course, I agree here, but I think it's even worse. He didn't even ask himself if he might be racist. He sees himself as a legend, in my opinion, and doesn't reflect on his behavior. It's the level of racist where he isn't even saying that he has a Black friend because he doesn't think he should have to talk to Black people. Also, that rock music only became good when white people started making it. Yesterday, I talked to new Black people, but it's really not easy here due to no opportunities. I don't want to be like Jan Winter. A couple asked me for the way to the gynecologist in the hospital where it was a little complicated to find. I said, I'll show you if you want. And they wanted, and we went some part of the way with them until we were at the sign. They smiled at me. I said, thank you. And I left. They are my real life Black friends now. It's what I get here, it's what I try, but not too much so that it's bad in another way. I mean, they are the best Black friends I have right now. I promise not to mention it anywhere else ever. Here's my problem. Here's my problem with this idea. What happened to the black kid from not too long ago?
Yeah, what happened to him? Did you throw him away?
Right. So now you meet some new black people. Now you just moving on.
Can you expand the circle?
That's not cool. Why you can't have multiple best black friends? Stop ranking them and bring them. You have a party.
Make a bigger circle.
Invite them all to your house.
Yes.
Evie says, happy belated birthday, Rod. So I'm so glad you had a nice birthday. That restaurant sounds really special. It's a shame people treat restaurant workers so foul that they're actually surprised when they have nice customers. I make it a rule to never go out to eat with people who are rude to wait staff. Same.
Either. If I go out with you, family, friends, it don't matter, and you show your ass one good time, we're not going out to eat no more.
Yeah, I remember one time I went out with a coworker, and he kind of started on some talking to the waitress like, I drank a lot of water, so just bring the water as much as you can. You can go ahead and leave the picture here, but just don't let it get below this part. Don't worry, I'm gonna tip you. And I had to tell that person hey, don't do that.
Right.
Say you want water, that's cool.
Right.
But once you start throwing a tip in their face or just that arbitrary, if the water get below this line, I was like, then I will never go out with you again. And I just told him that straight up, and he never did that shit again.
Right, because it's embarrassing. It's and like I said, I think that, and this is just me, particularly here in America, everybody, at least for 6 months to a year, should have a job dealing with the general public, some form of a face-forward customer service job. Because you can tell when you're with people and they've never had that fucking job before. I was like, you've never had a job where you've had to deal with the general public, because a lot of general public is ass cheeks.
But also, it's not cute. You think in your mind, it may come off as some cute, a speech you're giving in a movie type shit, but it's not cute as a person that's done that job. It's just stressful for no fucking reason. And you can be nice about it. All you have to say is hey, I drink a lot of water. There's no way you can give me too much water. So if you look over here and you see my cup, please bring some water. And that would have been fine, So it's just, and that person is a cool person that never did that shit again. But yeah, it's just I don't deal with that stuff. And like I said, that wasn't even them being mean. That was just them trying to be cute or funny or something. I was like, no.
Yeah, I don't think it's cute nor funny.
If it was somebody. If I see somebody being mean, honestly, when I was a waiter, I had someone where this woman at the table was being very fucking rude to me. And I really looked at her friends this y'all friend? Y'all just let this motherfucker go around embarrassing y'all like this? Because I feel embarrassed for you, as fucked up as this is. Stand up for yourself.
Right. And allowing this bullshit to happen. I remember, and I probably have told this stuff before, but I remember when I was at Shoney's with this dude, and he was really, really rude and really, really belligerent towards me. He was really nasty. And so I had got really frustrated dealing with him. So I went to the back and I was telling my manager, supervisor about it. And there was a really, really, really large commotion in the a restaurant from another couple. It was a black man and a black woman that was actually sitting watching the whole situation. And the black man got up and talked to that dude. It was like, hey, dog, I don't got to worry about losing my motherfucking job. Talk to me like that. Mm-hmm. It got really, really nasty when he was like, you talking to her like she's a nobody, but that is somebody, and she's trying her best. You need to get your shit together. It was right. And they almost started fighting and shit like that, because they was like, no, because I had got so frustrated that I had went to my manager. I was like, I'm not going back out there again. I was like, you need to get that table to some motherfucking body else. I said, because it's going to be problems if he talk to me like that again.
And it's all because somewhere in their life, they feel powerless. And then they try to pull that shit on us. She goes on to say, I once had dinner with a lady who would snap her fingers at the server. That was the last time I was so embarrassed. Yep. AJ says, happy belated birthday, Rod. I'm glad to hear you had a great time on your special day. I no longer go all out for my birthday. What I have done in recent years is an informal birthday tour where I would schedule lunches or dinners with my extended family members I don't get to talk to very often when everyone is together. And on the day of, I have a Zoom call in the evening with the whole family. My grandmother would do something special. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's sweet.
My favorite. It's a lot of organizing, but that's nice. My favorite. I'm just more low key and chill than that. I'm totally fine with just going to a dinner and just hanging out with me and Karen. Sometimes, my mom or my dad will hit me up and be like, oh, we should go out or we got something for you or something. And sometimes they don't. And it's never like a thing for me. Like I've never been like, I noticed I didn't get nothing. Like I'm so chill about it. The main thing for me is hard to do is because I'm so chill about my birthday, I sometimes forget people can be kind of more like uptight about theirs. And so they'll be like, hey, hit me up, like, hey, you didn't call me or something. I'm like, oh, that's right. This is a big deal to a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be a big deal for me.
It doesn't. And like I said, things from my childhood, I internally, I have my own personal hangups about that, so I have to look within myself and try not to get angry, but I'm like, yeah. When
people are like, you didn't hit me up about my birthday,
right? Because like I said, it's personal stuff, like my personal things.
I mean, if that happens to me one time with somebody, I normally just put a reminder in my phone, and then I just want to solve the problem. But at the same time, if someone got like super mad at me or something, I probably would stop fucking with them, just because. Like, to me, that's not healthy for me. Like,
right.
If you are like, I'm not speaking to you level angry about that, I really it's fine that we don't need to talk then. Cause and the reason I say that is because I would never treat somebody like that.
Correct.
I've never had a person, forget my birthday or some shit. And then I've been like, I'm not fucking with them no more. And so, and I feel like that's like kind of a childish approach to it. So I don't think I would be able to handle that. And there's other types of people who would be able to handle that, and they should just be friends with those people.
Right. And like I said, because I've had that happen to me, that's why I say I have to internally check myself about, about it and shit like that, because it's been like a running joke. Like, I'm better at it now, but it would be a running joke. Well, I would hit people like a few days after their birthday, because like I say, people have lives, people get busy, people do things, people forget. So I don't charge anything to you if you forget my birthday, but like I said, it's a personal thing for me, because I was like, well, if you have this energy about your birthday, bitch, don't ever forget mine then, and I know that's me internally talking, but I'm like, if you're going to make a huge deal and call and cry and whine, I better get a motherfucking call every day on mine then. Would they know? Okay.
Yeah, I've never had somebody like do the crying and all that stuff, but yeah, I hear you. And I'm more the way of like, I don't even want to reciprocate the energy. Like, I'm not gonna start being petty about my birthday. Like, no, you just said you were. Hold on, let me finish, please. I'm just responding to what you said. Okay, these are the words that came out your mouth. I don't have now I'm gonna be petty energy because I let things go too easily. So like, I won't remember when it's my birthday. Like, this bitch better call after she done said all that shit. Or whatever, this nigga better he better text me, or what. I really will forget about it. So that's why I would probably just move away from the person in general. Like, okay, this is a very harsh response. I understand it's very important to you, and in a way that it's probably never going to be important to me. And if it's causing like conflict and anger and stuff like that, that's a lot of pressure.
Right.
That I'm just not, I don't like thinking of that kind of pressure about my friendships. And especially since there's never going to be a way where it's even, where I keep that same energy, and I'm angry if you don't hit me up on my birthday. You can forget my shit 100 times and I'll always be okay. I forgot your shit once and you was crying and mad, then yeah, I need balance in my relationship.
And I think that's more of what I'm talking about, that balance piece. And it's not, but most of the time I literally won't remember. But if you actually make a big ordeal, I'm gonna go through my Rolodex and be like, oh, you making a big deal, but you didn't, and it's one of those things where, like I said, that's an internal thing that I personally got to navigate through myself. Please don't get me wrong. But that's why I'm like, I'm not big on my birthday. And, if we do something for your birthday, there's nothing wrong with it, anything like that. But, it's like, don't act like the world is going to end because I didn't remember, I didn't call or something like that. Like, it is nothing personal. Like, people take those things personal. I have family members that take it personally. And I'm like, it ain't personal.
Right. AJ, so thank you for writing. He said, my favorite birthday was 2018 when I got to see Earth, Wind & Fire perform at the Embassy, and they played my favorite song from their catalog, Boogie Wonderland. That sounds dope. I think my favorite one is when we did the Blackout Tips live show on my birthday. That was dope. Do you do it big for your birthday was the poll. Oh, wait. Sorry. Let me check the comments on YouTube. See if we got anything. None on this episode. Okay, cool. Now we can check the poll. Do you do it big for your birthday? Yes or no? 25% say yes, 75% say no. I also wonder what doing it big means to everybody, because it's probably different for everyone.
Yeah, and it varies, per person, and it's and it's also one of the things too, to where everybody's different. For some people, what we did would be considered small. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not big. Like, just
I was saying it was small.
Okay, right.
I was, in my mind, what we did is doing it small.
Right. So for a lot of people, they'll be like, well, and there's nothing wrong with this because everybody's different, So if you are somebody like, hey, it's my birthday, I want everybody to know, cool. As long as you don't get mad and upset with people, I don't have a problem with that at all. If you want to send invitations and have a party, have a blowout party, I'm cool with that too, because I know some people, their birthday is just that important to them. And there is nothing personally wrong with that. But it's like, for me, a lot of times I tell people that shocked and surprised, like, why did you tell me? It's like, I don't take it personal. I just, this is just how I do my thing, more laid back.
Let's check the poll on Spotify. 74% no, 26% yes, which is almost identical. Like, it's only 1 percentage point difference each way. So yeah, people do it big for their birthday, about 1 out of every 4 people. And then the Q&A, stop asking what black people need to do to get stop asking what black women need to do to get a man.
Yes, please.
Aaron says please and thank you. Nelson says the battle of the sexes shit is getting old. These content creators profiting from the division between black men and black women is disgusting. Yeah, and I think what's interesting here is there's an overreaction to it in the other way that I find to be somewhat disingenuous and convenient, and I don't necessarily like it, but I understand where it's coming from. And so what I mean is, a lot of the content online over embellishes on the division between black men and black women, and because it's content and it's effective content that works almost every time, regardless of who the person is talking. Like, it could be the least credible person. It could be a person that's been on the Summer Jam screen before. It don't matter. It goes viral. They get the clicks. They get the attention. They become the focal point of the day. And it's very lucrative as far as the attention economy goes. But there's also a reaction that comes back that goes, none of this is real. Black men and black women get along with no problems. Everything's fine within our community. And there's no need to ever discuss anything because all the black men are great and all the black women know that the black men are great. And so what are we even saying? And I think the original gender war like content is enabling that level of like whitewashing and just sweeping of all intraracial, intergender conflicts within black culture and society, because it's not as bad as the person who originally started it. We then go, nothing's wrong. And I think that's like that's one of the reasons we need to get rid of that a lot. Well, it would be nice to see the gender war with content. It would be nice to see that content go away. It won't, but it would be nice to see it go away, because I think there's a bunch of discussions that could be had about how people can be better to each other within the black race and within the way gender paradigms are set up and the way that privilege is set up. But we'll never get there as long as people are so over the top in the original content, because it just makes people go, well, okay, this is not that bad. And then people act like it's nothing.
I agree. And, it's also one of those things where all of it boils down to projection, because everybody has had different interactions with the opposite sex. Some of the straight relationships, everybody has had, different, and you're talking about people of different age ranges, people of different generations, people who view these things differently. And then you're talking about a lot of schisms and isms mixed up in there with the race, mixed up in there with, gender, because what's sad when it comes to this, most people, when they argue about this, a lot of times they only argue about straight. So you're not talking about LGBTQIA+, you're not talking about. Like a lot of times these conversations act like these particular group of people don't even exist in this conversation at all. Like they don't have these internal things that they have to deal with within their community too. And so it's like a really, really deep issue that everybody's trying to have public in these platforms that are not designed to actually have these in-depth conversations. Because the thing is, these things aren't really trying to fix or solve the problems. All they're trying to do is to get that enraged and that fire in you, be it I agree or I don't agree. They don't care. All they want is to get the shit out there so that they can make money. And it's a trick bag, and the trick bag keeps working. So that's why they keep doing it. If people stop listening, clicking, sharing, and going to this fucked up content, the content would stop.
Yeah, they're not gonna stop.
Right.
Man, that's it. Just end of the day, people are not gonna stop. It's too lucrative. It's too much to gain from doing it. Like I said, I'm not even trying to make, like I'm not, like I said, I don't want to join the other side of this, which is that there are no problems in the Black community.
Right.
Because I think that's a lot of people go to that because they don't want to face any level of critique at all. Mm-hmm. They don't want to have any level of responsibility, and I think that's kind of whack. But this ain't it. Whatever, like this shit where every day there's another motherfucker being like, here's a thing that'll piss everybody off about women and men. It's whack to me. Like there was a thing that was trending, boy math versus girl math, that started out kind of like a cute, like, ha ha ha, I don't, what the examples were, but like, some like, girl math is your girl saying she'll be ready in 15 minutes and it's an hour later. Ha ha ha.
Oh, right.
That kind of shit.
Okay, I'm with you.
Boy math is blank blank blank. I don't, some dumb
Simple,
shit.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's funny, that's cute, that's adorable or whatever. By the end, it was like, boy math is you sexually assaulted somebody, and girl math is the baby is yours, even though and I need child support, even though I was
this
like,
math ain't math, and we go with the complex algebra. I thought it was supposed to be easy math.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all are just mad.
Yes, you just mad.
Like y'all took something funny and turned it into something that would just piss each other off.
Correct, because it all boils down to gender wars.
I believe, well, it's not just the gender wars thing. I believe that these are people that are lonely, and that the content that people are getting from this is actually the interactions with each other. I think it's the same groups of people on both sides that actually get off on fighting with each other and quote tweeting that, and it's just to avoid whatever's going on in their life.
Yes, sir.
Because like, why would you be this angry and this upset about everything? But it's like all internet communities that are like hyper localized like that, where all of a sudden it's like, I'm just on here to avoid life. There was this clip that went viral that was actually like somebody trying to say, like, this woman trying to point out,
y'all be calling people y'all friends because you play basketball with them.
Oh wait, no, this ain't. Although this clip was funny and true too. I'll see if I can find her other clip. But there was this woman who was saying how like a lot of this stuff is about people absorbing other people's traumas.
Yeah,
and how because we're sitting around absorbing everybody else's trauma, even when some shit didn't happen to us, we're reading about people's like worst stuff. It's like, if you haven't been cheated on, but all you read about is, or the content you're watching, here we go. Yeah, the content you're watching go viral is people saying, this is the worst type of thing that ever happened to me, and this happens to me all the time, or this happens to everybody all the time, and it's never happened to you personally, but you're like, yep, that's content. You absorb that, and it becomes the
but when I tell you, social media is amplifying the divide between Black men and Black women. Pages like Justin LA Boy, pages like Spiritual World, who take the most toxic messages from Twitter and all other platforms, put them in one space that are purposely perpetuating narratives that we really aren't interacting with in the real world. You go on a date, you're not having these conversations, but you go on social media and these conversations are constantly repeated, and none of it is solution focused. It's all what they do, what's not being done, and it's not productive. It's not pushing us forward. And what's happening is we are internalizing a lot of trauma that does not belong to us. So
say it again.
So we are internalizing a lot of relationship trauma that does not belong to us. So let's say for me personally, right? I've never been cheated on. But let's say I go and I follow a bunch of women who talk about the fact that, oh, I've been cheated on, all these niggas cheat, they steady cheating. I'm going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, niggas, they all cheat. That's all they do. And I'm not self-aware enough to really understand that that's not even my shit. That's not my baggage. That's somebody else's baggage. So one thing we really have to do is learn how to detach from some of these messages that we are constantly internalizing.
And so, like I said, I'm sure she's getting called all kinds of pick-me's and shit.
But the statement is 100% true.
Yeah, and like it can be somewhat oversimplified into like this isn't happening stuff, which is not a space I would want to go into because I think that's just as problematic, if not worse, to act like no problems are happening.
You can acknowledge it didn't happen.
The internalizing of other people's shit as this is my shit is definitely 100% true, and it's not just true of Black people and Black gender war, blah blah blah. It's true of the internet, kinda.
Yes.
Like that's people see content, clicks, videos, TikTok, whatever, and they click on the shit and they're like, now you're absorbing whatever this is, even when a lot of times it's either over embellished or not real.
Agreed. And it's one of the things where you can do it subconsciously because the internet is just designed to suck you in.
Right.
And if you're not aware, if you're not alert, if you don't have the self-awareness, if you can't discern, before you know it, you're wrapped up and tangled up in it and you're repeating the same things. And a lot of times, a lot of the things we observe and absorb on the internet, if we're not aware, it can actually quote unquote flow into real life. And so these things that you read online that are hyper over embellished and like I said, some of these things might not be true, you'll start interacting with people like this in the real world. This has a lot to do with my personal opinion, why a lot of people are lonely and things like that, because if you read all these niggas ain't shit, 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 you just absorbed it, and then you go in the real world, you some people take that same energy out into the real world. All this, everybody's easy to get rid of, easy to block, easy to mute, easy to get rid of. You take those same actions into the quote unquote real world, and you'll start treating real human beings. These other people are human beings too, but you'll start treating people in your everyday normal life, mimicking the things that you do online. Online, sometimes you have to draw a line, and you got to be like, look, there's online, and online can lead into the real world. Don't get me wrong, but there are some things online that need to stay online.
Yeah, I think, and the thing is, with her saying like people, we're not bringing these conversations up on dates and stuff. I think there are people that obviously bring up these type of conversations on dates. I think the difference is, even those people would admit in real life, they're the outliers. That's not a common thing they do. When they do stuff like that on dates, people are shocked or don't know how to answer those questions because they're not, because most people aren't confronted with that in real life. And when you stop and think about, okay, so those people are outliers in real life, but on the internet, those people lead the discussion.
Right.
And that is the basis for the discussion. And that's why people feel like the internet doesn't reflect real life, because the kind of person that is bringing up some of this like stuff in real life normally is the person that we go, yeah, that person's being a weirdo, or that person's a real stickler about blank. We're not treating them like, yeah, because that happens all the time. That's very normal. Many of my friends are the people that would bring something like this up on a date, and they don't walk around being like, yeah, and I do it all the time, and everybody's just like totally cool with it. They're like, no, these motherfuckers don't even know what to say. They sound stupid because they've never even been fucking had to think about gender dynamics, or they've never had to think about what if I start bringing up being like anything other than cis heteronormative, it immediately is outside of their purview, and that's more realistic. But yeah, the internet's not like that. Another person said, because we're happy single in most cases, says Demetria. I hear you. I really think people do not, well, not people. A lot of these discussions all are based off of like a blissful marriage and relationship. It's never based on the like, you probably have to work at it, or it's mid, or some days there's bad days, or it's bad. No one's ever like talking about this. That it's always like you find a person and then it's great, and you go, why wasn't I finding a person earlier? The only thing that could have made this better was to find them yesterday. And it's like, man, there's a lot of people that, you know, struggle and fight and try to get into a relationship, and then they still go, this isn't good to me.
Right.
Typhlosion says, I agree. Start asking why black men can't keep a woman. Nobody ever asked that shit.
Never.
Kisha asks, says, for real, because some of us might want a woman. Exactly. No, these conversations are extremely heteronormative. Sydney says, I love to take on the teacher using ski yee. It's weird to post. I appreciate the anti-respectability and choice not to code switch, conscious or not, but sis had to know these niggas will be pissed. That's the thing, right? Because this is where I'm at right now, where I'm not cynical in the like, you know, I don't think I respond very much to the surface level of videos and content on the internet anymore. To which I mean, like, if there was a video that was you coming over to me and smacking me in my face, right? Most people would respond to the fact that you smacked me in my face, right? No, almost nobody responds to the fact that I posted a video you smacking me in my face. What am I trying to get out of this shit now? I really just have to ask myself that before, because the vast majority of the conversation is the surface level, like, damn, she smacked her husband or whatever. It's never like, and then this nigga uploaded it and shared it, and like, what was the decision?
And when you do bring that up, people act like you're the weirdo.
Yeah, is the smack genuine? You know,
right?
And I have there's a lot of questions I don't ask on here, and I don't ask. I'll keep it to the group chat, but motherfuckers know the kind of shit I'm talking about, where something has an immediate knee-jerk reaction and everyone's on one page, and if you just take one more second, you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
It's my name, be real.
Yeah. Leash says, I'm convinced that at this point they're just asking these questions for a viral moment. Listen, Leash, okay? Me, you, same. Low-hanging fruit, I too fall into the thoughts of what the hell is wrong with me every now and then, and it's a struggle. That's another thing, man. Like, people are really dealing with this, especially women. Like, it's very rarely like, so like, we empower men so much in life. Most men will never have a what's wrong with me moment.
Nope.
Unless they're talking about fucking. But they very rarely have a what's wrong with me, why can't I get into a serious, committed, long-term relationship. It's always like, this what these bitches need to do. I know people that have been lifelong bachelors, haven't really been able to make a long-term relationship work. They aren't married, they aren't engaged, and yet they always got some shit to say about what women need to do so they can get married and engaged.
Right.
Because to them, women exist to service us as men and to do whatever the fuck they need to do to be with us. And there's always some shit that's got to deal with, like, they need to learn to put up with our shit. It's never some, like, you know, whatever it is, always like, learn to lower your standards to me. And I always find that shit to be, it's just about the entitlement we experience from the time we're boys to becoming men. That's just making us the default, and the women have to acquiesce to it.
Right. And, you know, and a lot of men, particularly now, as people get older, and we read studies, men don't know how to deal with older women, particularly if they want to date somebody in their age range and they don't want to go down. And we like, no, nigga, I'm not marrying you. No, you can't move in with me. No, you stay at your place, I stay at my mind. I'll fuck you, but I'm not trying to do nothing else with you.
Right. But I
never, you know, because a lot of women like, nigga, I don't want to be your caregiver, and that's what you're looking for.
Right. And I know that there's a power for that for women, but you see what you didn't even say in that discussion, what these men need to do to be with these women. No one thinks about it. We don't ask it. We don't demand it of them, and they don't demand it of themselves. Well, that's not even a question in these discussions. We're like happy that look at these women standing up for themselves and saying, I don't want to deal with no man. We never stop and be like, why aren't these men better men to be, you know, to get with these, so these women would want to get with them? We don't ask that. We only ask it the other way.
Right. And that right there is a whole deeper conversation in itself, because men don't hold higher standards for themselves and for their other fellow men. Men don't ask each other's questions. They don't challenge each other. They don't, do some of the work that actually needs to be done. They expect, and that's just somebody talking from a straight relationship. They expect, a woman to quote unquote come and fix them. And society teaches women that you're quote unquote supposed to fix a man, type of thing. And that's rooted into like some other types of things. So, women have, it's sad, but a lot of women have just accepted that a quote unquote man is a man, and if he don't come with his shit together, I am tired of being the toolkit to repair. I'm not repairing anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, great till they gotta be great. Next person says, Francesca Ramsey had a recent IG live where a fool crashed her live asking why she can't keep a man. She said some men get intimidated when they find out how much money she makes. Bunch of laughing emojis. Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, it's just, and they also everybody thinks it's such a big fucking knock on somebody. Like, you ain't got no man. Like, why do you think that's such a flex?
Because a lot of women have bought up with that insecurity, and a lot of them internalize. It's like until you get to a certain age, that shit matters, and they know that for a lot of women, whether they say it or not, it's like a dagger. But, a lot of women are like, no, nigga, fuck that, and fuck you too. And men don't know how to deal with somebody going, no, I'm secure with not having a man. I'm secure with not having kids. I'm secure with not having it as me being a wife is not on the top of my priority. Like, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm going to do? Get my motherfucking degree just like you. You know what I'm going to do? Further my education, climb up the corporate ladder just like you. You know what I'm saying? Like I am making the choice. And this is a lot of that thing when people go choices and rights. I should have the right to desire to be married, to be a stay-at-home mom, but I also should have the right to be like, these are the things that I'm going to do too. And there's nothing wrong with none of these choices. Society makes people feel like there's wrong with these choices, and they never say the men make the sacrifice. It's always the woman makes the sacrifice. The woman is making a sacrifice by putting her education first, not deciding to have children, delaying marriage. Like this is like you are not happy and you are not worthy and won't no man want you, and how dare you go out here and do these things and make this money, because at the end of the day it's about what the man desires, what the man wants. And that goes back to the thing you said before. Nobody turns around and says, what can men do as a collective or anything like that. Like that question never asked, but it's always asked what the women can do.
And it's a question that needs to be confronted because it's literally killing people.
Yes.
Like men being the number one mass shooters, men being the most violent with domestic violence, men being the number one reason and way that like women die with partner violence or something. I forget the exact word, but like basically domestic violence. Like the men dying by suicide even is about loneliness and stuff. And so because we're teaching people, we're valuing sex over relationships. We're valuing the ability to have sex with a woman over the ability to be to communicate with a woman. We're valuing your entitlement to sex over your need and or longing for companionship. We're talking about other stuff. We will talk about sex, but we won't talk about those things, which are to me more intimate partner violence. That's it. Is more intimate than fucking.
Yeah, and also it's one of those things too. I'm just talking from the straight. A lot of times, most boys aren't really taught to have the community that girls are. Girls are taught, girlfriends, community, talk, have somebody that you can express these things to. But a lot of men are I won't say lone wolves, but it's
what is the tenets of the community though. Men have community in a lot of spaces. Sports is huge, is community.
Yes, it is.
Men have a lot of community. It's just what are the values that are considered important in those communities, and they're very rarely the same as women community is much more about taking care of people and each other, being, maternal, for lack of a better term, or being, providing in emotional spaces that, men mostly through their own fault, not through someone else setting these rules up. So please, let's not get into the blame game. It's not about that. I'm just describing what is happening
in general. Yeah,
that years and years and years of patriarchy have set men up to not be intimate enough in ways that they need with each other, and even with women. There's a level of vulnerability and stuff that has to happen, and we're not there yet. Next episode was 2774 Dat Rue. Of course, we had on Corey and Vernon from Living Color. It's great. Technical difficulties, you know what we do.
It was fun.
It was fun. Wangangi says, yo, that's exactly how I felt when I was in New Zealand. I was talking to this Maori bartender, and I was thinking to myself, damn, y'all the niggas and the Indians here. She was asking me about all the police shit here. International fuckery summits happen everywhere I travel. Mary says, I love that you have Living Color on. How wonderful that they're friends of the show. I'm an old head, and I remember working in a record store, Look It Up Kids, in the late 80s. And then come the new CDs. They start playing that Code of Personality in the store. And I was like, wow, this rocks. Then we all found out that the band was black, and I was blown away. At the time, it was hair bands, metal, Motley Crue, Poison Rat, etc. Living Color was, to me, revolutionary. For that alone, these fellas need to be in the Hall of Fame. But honestly, what does that even mean, considering who's doing the choosing? Corey and Vernon are also very funny. Great show. One more thing, Rod. Steely Dan is my go-to for travel music. Also great for car trips. They listen. They don't miss. Wangangi says, just do that rule like Polynesians and cook it in the ground. No pot needed. And he says, also not unique across the top. Laugh my ass off. Sean said, did someone say Hennessy cupcakes and send a YouTube video of someone making Hennessy cupcakes?
I told you. Anything, we in it.
I made that up on the spot, and I was like, black people do it. I don't even know how.
I bet you them shits is flames.
EVE says, I really enjoy it when Corey and Vernon come on the show. They're so knowledgeable about musical history, and they're so funny as well. I was just thinking that we're about to get a record amount of black and women nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. Right. Isn't that how they be? That's how they be. They're like, we fucked up, guys. Black people were finally acknowledging you. Don't say nothing about that shit, though. That always happens when the white people get caught on the Summer Jam screen for their racism. They tend to overcorrect, but this is good for Destiny's Child because they're eligible. Yeah, they definitely gonna get in. They definitely get. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't think I could eat kangaroo cooked by anyone. I can't eat an animal that can fuck me up in a fist fight. That's the best reason to eat them. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, then fuck this up, nigga. I'm gonna fuck you up with this fork.
Hand me some sauce to dip this in.
Right. Autumn says, I love it when Vernon and Corey are on the show. This conversation made me think about the challenges my best friend has faced as a black woman in country music. Forgive me for the shameless plug. Her name is Rissy Palmer, and she has a dope podcast on Apple Music called Color Me Country. She interviews artists of color to talk about their contributions to country, folk, Americana music. Some past guests have been Darius Rucker, Hootie and the Blowfish, Chapel Hart from America's Got Talent, Panama Jackson, the Very Smart Brothers, and songwriter Claude Kelly. I'd recommend it to anyone who wants to learn more about country music. The show is funny too. Thank you, Autumn.
Thank you, baby.
Let's see if we got any comments on YouTube. I'm sure we did on this one. Yep, my mom says this show was hilarious. Old black people, old landline phone calls, a 100 effing with old people, LOL. Fall Dad says, I watch these podcasts without paying too much mind to the title because I know I'll eventually figure it out. But this time it was special. Once I figured it out and y'all kept talking about different versions of the Rue, I was laughing my ass off. Great episode. Thank you.
Thank you.
On Spotify, the poll is, would you eat some kangaroo if black people cooked it? Yes, no, because I'm racist, or no, but I'm not racist.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, I would eat it. 64% say yes. And then 0 say no because I'm racist. So, because you got to account for that. Some people will be like, I wouldn't eat anything a black person cooked me.
Yeah, because with that rule, nigga, it's gonna have some onions in it. Nigga love onions, some onions and garlic powders. It's gonna be great. All types of seasonings.
No, but I'm not racist, 36%. And then on Spotify, 64% would eat it if black people cooked it. 5% said they wouldn't eat it because they are racist. So appreciate your honesty. Thank you for your honesty on that one. And then 30% says no, they wouldn't eat it, but they are not racist. The Q&A was baking soda, vinegar, peroxide. That's all you need. King Entropy says, look in their eyes. What do you see? They're not here for Jan's fuckery like Harriet Tubman and Garvey. Oh, they're not here for white fuckery. And I'm assuming that song to the tune of Cult Personality. I've been influenced, says Raja, adding rue to my list of exotic meats to try that with ostrich leg and alligator. Alligator do be hitting though.
Alligator be hitting. We had some alligator bites. It was absolutely delicious.
Yeah, I miss Dixie's. They had alligator bites and they had this like spicy was remoulade or whatever you call that sauce.
Yes, it was absolutely it was outstanding. Didn't they fry it too?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
Shit was hitting. Raphael says, assist from Oz, Australia, once got me Babe Ruth in Queens. That's what she said they called kangaroo. It was during Rugby World Cup and free, so I ate it and quietly supported my All Blacks with an Oz beer. Chris says, drown Skype in pure peroxide and get a FaceTime group call or Google Meet. See, the problem with this is we have to record it for Crowdcast. So we don't want to use Skype, but we will if we have to. But the Crowdcast is important so that y'all can get the video later on YouTube and things of that nature, which is why we don't use like Facebook or Google Meet or whatever.
Yeah, because then there's a whole nother fucking ordeal happening. And yeah, they used to be great. It was like we was rooting for you because I remember when Skype first came out. But for the kids, you know, when Skype first came out, it was like revolutionary. Like everybody had a Skype account and it got bought out and they just didn't invest and didn't give a fuck. And it just went downhill and then everybody else just came and lapsed them.
Yeah, Microsoft bought it to kill it. And yes, that's, you know, that happens sometimes. It's like Elon Musk and X.
Mm-hmm. They bought it to kill it.
Right? X. Right?
And they not trying to give it to me. Well, they are, but I don't want
it. Sydney says, I love when they come on. We love the technical difficulties. Hashtag keep the blackout tips authentic. Also, thank you for introducing me to Voodoo Child. I too hear someone young film and ratchet sample it. I want to hear some. Yeah, because all the young black women rappers are sampling old shit and trying to like make like songs from the old samples. I'm not gonna lie, I like it more when they just kind of like do their original shit, because I think some of the sample stuff is the people that make the beats, not the rappers. But the people that make the beats, sometimes they haven't come up with a better flip on the sample, but they know that the attempt will get people's attention.
Right.
So it's like, oh, they took, you know, All Along the Watchtower and fucking they flipped the sample, and then you listen to it, you're like, I feel like the person made the beat hadn't really sat with this long enough and thought to themselves, I came up with a way to flip this uniquely. You're just relying on the outrage because, oh, the niggas our age are outraged at these girls and these flip samples.
Yeah, it don't bother me.
Yeah, the outrage. But hold on, please. The content is designed to outrage, I think.
Yes, it is.
I think because if it's not great, people will still be mad that it's not great and they'll still share it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's kind of the algorithm is algorithming.
Yep, and that's what it's designed to do. And it's one of those things where I'm like, okay.
And I'm fans of these women that are rapping, so I go listen to them. As you know, I'm not listening to it with the hater in my bones and be like, I can't wait to be mad about this. I'm
right.
You know, I'm like, oh, cool. They used a Kool Moe Dee sample, and I'm like, oh, whoever did the beat on this, they didn't take the time with it to like, to make it like a hit. Right. Also, I think because of maybe the samples they're using, not all these songs are actually designed to go on like Spotify shit. Because I don't know that they're clearing all these samples. So a lot of times it'll be like a viral video, but I won't really see it other places. Anyway, it's a whole little subculture going on right now. Dave says correct. Alicia says exactly. If you want to jazz it up, add a few drops of your favorite essential oils. 409 who? Also, I feel like Mr. Clean
not was essential oils.
Also, I feel like Mr. Clean was originally a black man. They made white so white people would buy it. That's a great conspiracy theory.
You
and
know
I like
what?
it.
I like it too. Would not be surprising. You know what? Facts.
Yeah, I
Hashtag facts.
Yeah, this is a good conspiracy. So.
Open your third eye. Open your third eye. Open your third eye. Open your third eye.
That one deserves the music. I'm with you. Facts.
And Tori says, add some bleach to that, and I'm with you. I'm scared that I add bleach to it, and then next thing you know, I'll pass out because I don't know.
Right? I don't know the chemical compound. I'm not a scientist.
I know I've done that.
Fuck around and fell out.
I've done with that with my tub before, where I was like, I'll just put a little Pond Sol in here, a little bleach in here, put a little Ajax in here, a little Common in here, and then oh God, what time is it? Oh, is it the nighttime? Is it the morning? What the fuck? Oh, I should have turned the vents on.
Right. I should open up the windows. The fuck was I thinking?
All right. Before we get into some other episodes, let me play some music so I remember to put commercials on here. Mr. Clean bleaches his skin. All right. Episode 2775, all samples. It makes sense. We had some comments. I'm Sasha Pierce says, happy B-Day week, Rod. I don't know why, but the random thoughts were cracking me up this week. Thank you. A lot of people said that. I always forget that I come up with random thoughts and stuff and put it on Twitter all the time. And I used to read them on the show more often because, obviously the show audience and the Twitter audience aren't necessarily correlated. And I just be forgetting to put them on here in my random thoughts. And this was a week that I remember. And I think it helped make the show a little more sillier and all that stuff. And also I was just feeling good vibes the last week or so.
Yay!
So I was just like, let's get silly. This all samples restaurant idea, some real Larry David type behavior. Had me wondering if Rod at 45 is setting himself up to be America's next lovable curmudgeon. I just couldn't. Also, just the vent, I was so upset a couple weeks ago. I caught the COVID for the first time and had to miss the live show. Damn shame, but thank y'all for sharing it so everyone can see it. It looked great, like y'all had a great time. I only wish I could have seen Karen stunt in person. Oh well, such is luck next time. Let me tell you something, Sasha. Thank you. Because this is what we depend on, and this is what I think more people have to depend on. You stayed home. That was the right thing to do. It sucks that you missed it, but it's so much better. As far as I know, no one got sick at our show. We're not sick. We've been going places and doing stuff, and we haven't gotten sick. We haven't been like pushing our luck, like trying to like be all up in the crowded places everywhere and all this shit. But we've been to a few places, and to me, living with coronavirus as a part of just life now, people need to treat it like they didn't treat the flu, which is, hey, you got the flu, stay home from work. Hey, you don't go to the thing, don't go to that movie, go, reschedule, go to a different time, because this is how we take care of each other. And I know a lot of people aren't going to do that, which is why I don't blame anyone for masking or staying home. But
right,
I would hope that our audience is not among those people, and I'm very happy that you are expressing that you aren't. Thank you. Tay Rail says, okay, I'm not a scientist, so I won't speak on bourbon chicken, but there used to be a Charlie's, it's a sandwich shop, in case they're not around, y'all, and they would have samples of their chicken California sandwich that would be amazing, but if you ordered the sandwich, it was not the same. One day, the sample person was somebody I felt would have answers, and I asked, how is the sample made that was different than how I was getting it? He broke down that they put both mayo and ranch on the samples. Listen, that tip changed the entire flavor profile of the sandwich. I hope somebody got that data on the bourbon chicken, because I need to know too.
It's something. Yeah, it's something that they get it, because like you say, when you get it, you be like, yeah, I'm gonna get into this. You be like, it don't look the same, the color look off. You be like, yeah, this is not the same, y'all.
Appia says, I bet you are the nicest people in the restaurant that the restaurant had all day. You are not starting out mad and want to have a good time.
Yeah, and also, because me and Roger go out to eat a lot, and because we Black, sometimes I get in my head because there's been times we come down and because me and Roger can actually serve, so sometimes we come down and we sit, and sometimes depending on the situation, it might take people a while to get to us for various different reasons, and sometimes you can kind of tell, particularly we've been sitting there for a while, we'll start like doing other shit, watching our phones, like doing things, just wait for somebody to come and serve us. And a lot of times the server sometimes come to us, and sometimes you can tell that they're scared, like they don't know how to respond to us because we might have been sitting there for a while. And some people get very impatient and very ugly if they've had to sit for an extended period of time and nobody has came to them. And I've seen like the relief on a server's face when I be like, oh yeah, we ready to order, like we just give them everything at once, and you can see them go, oh thank God.
Yeah, you have to be a pretty shitty server to get on our bad side.
Yes, you do.
Evie says, I think the bourbon chicken samples always taste the best because they pick up the juiciest piece because it never hits when you actually buy it. I would definitely visit an all samples menu because a little bite of everything will always be better than the actual meal. As for Joe Biden, I don't care if he meant to call LL Cool J boy in a racial way. I'll still vote for him over Trump. Yeah, even if he did mean it racist. But
he got my vote.
Also, like,
but like this, him and Krispy Kreme and Chick-fil-A, they got my vote.
Also, to me, you just cannot. It will never not be funny to me that LL Cool J made accidental racist, and then that happened. That's not enough was made about that. I made a tweet about it. It didn't go viral. Fuck everybody. You motherfuckers don't know funny. That is goddamn hilarious.
Yes, it is.
Then on YouTube, Hugh Gordon says, come to Arby's, all samples, now with grits.
Not now with grits.
My mom says, happy birthday, dear brother. Love, peace, blessings, and happiness. Thank you, Mom. Lakita says, why just Google Special Ed? He's alive and appears to be minding his business, running his nonprofit. We love to see it. Maybe, is it a special education nonprofit?
I hope so.
Karina says, very enjoyable episode. Thank you. Absurd Spoonful says, those Mario pajamas are unspeakably adorable, Rod. Thank you.
He gets comments every time he puts it on.
And Karen, you're glowing today. Happy belated birthday, Rod. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
We love to see it. And then on Spotify and the website, the poll was, did Jermaine Dupri invent making it rain? Yes or no? 16% say yes. 84% say no. Damn. Almost exact same. 15 to 85 on Spotify. The Q&A was new vaccine dropped. Guess who says keep it? I don't trust it. All right. Good for you, buddy. I trust COVID. Cause you gonna get it. Daryl says
COVID.
Daryl says making an appointment this week. Raphael says, I'm more than ready for the new vaccine, just awaiting confirmation from local VA that it's available, so I roll out and get it. And flu shot, I hope government shutdown won't affect availability. Fuck the GLP. God, I didn't think about that. I hope not.
Yep, because, it actually expires, I don't know, midnight tonight or some shit like that. They ain't got together. Ain't nobody talking. Ain't nobody doing shit right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it will affect that or not. I don't know. I guess we'll find out together. Leash says, new shit. Aaron says, get the new vaccine. Got the new vaccine and flu shot yesterday. I'm out of it. Take a nap. Sydney says, just my personal experience. I tried to get my daughter vaxxed before school, and her doctor said her doctor and the pharmacy said that we ain't got them because nobody was using the ones for younger kids. Yikes. Is that just your area of town, or is just that? I don't know. That's wild.
Right? Keep them in stock. No, nobody keep them. Like, the fuck?
And
or the 5. Let the 5 people use it. Like, shit.
Yeah, but I think later someone left a comment in here that, so keep in mind what Sid just said. They didn't have it for the kids or something because nobody was getting them, which, man, that's scary. That's scary as fuck. Because kids are in school.
Yeah, and their business is sad, but they were like, ain't nobody using them. Well, no, still order them shit. You keep other shit that 3 people order.
Yeah, I'd call around some different pharmacies.
Yes, somebody got to have
somebody
it, baby.
Got it. Diane says, I had a great time. Thanks y'all for an enjoyable episode. Thank you. Yamonte says, let me just get that sample. They sprinkle MSG on it to make it hit. That's what it is. I noticed y'all aren't scientists, but yes, maybe that's it. Joy says, I enjoy rambling episodes. It reminds me of thoughts in my head. Thank you. Quee says, Rod out here trying to disrupt the bourbon chicken industrial complex. Just ask a question. Now, like I said, remember what Sydney said, because Sean says, my appointment at my local pharmacy in Texas got canceled because they ran out. I'll try again in Michigan while I'm on assignment. I'll drive to Ohio if I have to. So they ran out of his. They didn't have it and at Sydney's, they didn't even order it. It's wow.
Right.
Smith State says, got that shot and the flu shot. And J Damo says, oh my God, Rod, I tried ordering pumpkin spice from one Starbucks and they were out. I had to go to one further down the street. It's an epidemic. I know. Everyone's been telling me that theirs is out.
That don't make sense.
Somebody is motherfucking lying. Y'all love the spice. Stop trying to make us feel bad. The next episode was Gat in the Box. Had 5 comments. Ramsey D. Jenkins says, Dracarys for the full story of fucking with the banner today. Slick and Salacious says, the gay science reminds me of when y'all talked about the sex talk discussions y'all had in school and how a third talk of unified talks are needed, because those studies also show the pheromones be pheromoning, and we know not everyone is cis hormonal. Thanks for the great show.
Right.
JB from Harlem says, hey y'all, congrats on the live show. Forest Hills is not just the suburbs, it's for whites only, even if you have the money type of community. So he has to know someone or be a good Negro. If it was me and someone sprayed water all over me and my guests, first of all, any of my guests who weren't taking off their earrings, heels, and jackets ready to fight, we can't be friends no more. Bruh, it's on site, full stock. Congrats on the writer's strike. Side note, I live down the street from the Schomburg, and every time I pass it, I think about your Duke skit. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can't believe that happened. Evie says, I didn't realize that the water hose story happened a year ago, but I was looking up articles, and the white man who water hoses that party is, of course, alleging the guests were threatening him. I highly doubt that. Also, if they were threatening you, why would a water hose stop them from whooping your ass? It's water.
Why didn't you
bitch.
just call the police? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, fuck the police. If you water hose, if you're threatening me and I want to stop you, how would a water hose not make you just whoop my ass?
It escalates the situation.
It's a water hose. It don't do nothing. Now I'm wet whooping your ass.
Right.
He definitely lied. You know they would have had to police it if that was the case. As a wise man once said, I hate slavery. I do hate slavery. Appia says, the Glory Hole dating show sounds like a great addition to your future TV empire where you have slavery wasn't so bad now with white people.
Remember that?
It might work better with penis owners. Vagina owners would need to be extremely flexible for it. Yeah, the Glory Hole is also the ultimate proof of patriarchy in the world, because with the Glory Hole, it's so funny because everyone's like, oh my God, this woman is a nasty whore. What a slut, blah, blah, blah. She is letting all these men have sex with her at the Glory Hole. And that's, this is for the cishet Glory Hole stuff.
All these dicks.
But Karen, of course, just cut off my punchline. Don't worry about it, guys.
All
right, moving on. Appia,
no, finish.
No, it's too late. Karen, the joke is done. You cut it off at the knees.
I am so sorry. Go ahead. I did not.
It's too late.
I didn't mean.
I can't rewind time. They know the punchline is about everybody having 37 men having sex with, but none of them are nasty. They know it now. It's too late.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
It's okay. It's okay. You're a funny person. You just saw it coming. I was taking too long to set it up.
And that's a rarity. My bad. I'm sorry.
It's just a move on. I agree about Hassan Minaj. I imagine being the girl he asked out. She didn't like him that way and said no, and he didn't take it well and start calling her and her family racist. Bruh, like, saying enough information for people to be able to go find who that woman is fucking insane, considering that it's a goddamn lie. And the fact that people act like that shit is just, and that was in his Homecoming King special, but the fact that people are downplaying it is so sad to me. And I get it. I had a conversation with a friend, and we both are, stand-up fans, and we're very protective of stand-up. And we definitely feel, I think if you're a fan of stand-up, you're in denial if you don't think what the internet is trying to do to stand up is fucked up. It is fucked up.
Yes, it is. They're trying to strip it of everything. You're like, well, bitch, it's comedy. Come on now.
Yeah, because they're trying to go viral off of content that they don't have to be genuine about the reality of it.
Right.
So they're just saying shit basically like, this means this person really believes this, like it's a TED Talk. And I do hate that. I'm human. That being said, this one is different. And a lot of people are relying, and I guess to Simon Knowledge to an extent, they're relying on you to dismiss it out of hand without needing to look at anything because you want to protect stand up and protect him. And I think it's doing everybody a disservice because that shit is foul to me.
Yes, it is, because the things you were presented, you were not presented as jokes or alternative. You were presenting some of these things as facts, and that shit matters.
And if your whole thing is I'm a hero that does the heroic thing and the right thing and I persevere through all the stuff, if the shit didn't happen to you, then you're not the hero. And people, what's funny is I know a lot of people who are saying like, I want to protect him, but I don't think he's funny and I'm not a fan. And I was like, yeah, but the reason I do think his last special was funny, but the reason that you don't think he's funny and you're not a fan is partially because he's not just a joke comedian. I'm a good person and I make the right decisions comedian, and things are happening to me that people are against me because I'm a good person and I make the right decision. And that's why you're like, I don't find that funny. A lot of people, liberal people, find that kind of comedy, for lack of a better term, empowering or whatever. Like they like it because they want to like the person and their point of view. That's some male entitlement. It makes me mad. Men love guilty women for rejecting them already. And this sounds like a new trick. Yeah, I hear you, Appia. But yeah, that was with the comments. I don't know why there was something I thought y'all said that I was gonna address it. Now I can't remember it. Oh, yeah, no, it was the glory hole joke that Karen killed. All right, the poll.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to kill
it. It's okay. It's okay. Jokes died. It wasn't that fucking clever anyway. Hugh writes on YouTube, come to Arby's all samples now with grits. Oh wait, we already said this part. Mm-hmm. Wait, why did I read this already? Mm-hmm. Oh, because I'm reading the wrong one.
Okay.
Let's go back to the right one and look at that comments on YouTube. And I haven't put the Walking Dead one on there yet. Just it takes hours to upload. I forgot to do it yesterday, so that's why we won't have comments on YouTube on that one yet.
Okay.
So the home I create, heart emoji. You know how she do. Deep 1689 says, who is Tim Apple? Laughing emoji. The dude that run Apple, Tim Apple. I have no idea where I got that from. I feel like I got that from JL Covan or Keith Malley. I don't know which one, but one of them. I don't know if they got it from somewhere else, but I started calling Tim Apple after that. My mom says, oh my God, not Woolworth font. Yeah, Karen was in a bag. Sit on the stool font. LOL. Yeah. And lastly, Deep 1689 says, love the YouTube version. I'm unable to catch live with videos. And Home I Create says same. Well, that's why we do it for y'all. Because it ain't for the numbers, y'all. We not getting lots of views on YouTube. We not one of them.
We're okay with that.
Well, I don't even monetize YouTube videos anymore. It's more trouble than it's worth. And ever since they fucking tripped out on us and like gave us a content strike for talking about the Montgomery beatdown,
it was everywhere, and
then deleted our episode, even though you could fucking go watch that video anywhere in their motherfucking website. I just decided I'm not invested. We're probably not gonna be there forever because they're just gonna probably, the way we talk and the stuff we talk about and the fact that they don't have any level of context with like, oh, these are black people or whatever, they're probably going to get us out of there at some point. Mm-hmm. So that fucking sucks. All right. And then of course the poll was, can gay people smell the gay on each other? Yes, it's science, or no, what the fuck? 27% say yes, it's science. While
Say yes, it's glitter.
73% say no. What the fuck?
Yes, it's rainbows.
And on Spotify, 33% say it's science. Even more, 67% say no. What the fuck? Sydney says people always thought I was a lesbian. Same with my partner. We ain't found out till our 30s. Now they know, and we didn't. How they know and we didn't? Gay smell with a DNA emoji. I don't make the rules. Must have been. I don't have it because I'm straight, so I don't have the gay smell sense. Because I remember when we met Sid at our first live show ever, she was greeting, like hugging us and all this stuff, and she said, Rod, you're the only straight man podcast I listen to. And it felt a little bit like that. It felt a little bit like that scene in Atlanta.
Yes! Don't you let me down!
Right.
Keep holding it down, my nigga. Don't let me down, man. If you let me down, I don't know what I'd do.
And I was like, oh my God, the responsibility. But I didn't smell no gay on her, is what I'm saying. I wasn't like,
the aroma of gay.
I have just put my arms on her shoulders and hold her back like this, like a fortune teller, and be like, oh, I got some news for you, girl. Oh,
I know, Stassi.
You might want to sit down for this one.
Is that glitter residue I'm smelling?
You don't even know yet, do you? Oh man.
I think I smell some Roy G. Biv.
I hate to tell you this, girl, but it's in you, girl. You got the gay. So
I'm trying to tell you.
I know you're gonna have to make a lot of lifestyle changes. Okay, I don't know what you into right now, but it's gonna have to change real good. It's a reason.
It's on its way.
It's a reason I'm the only brother you want to listen to. It's a reason. Okay, you don't have nothing these niggas got to say. And this Raphael says, how can I, when nobody believes that we can't have two adults stretching at 2:30 a.m. I'm sorry. The Q&A was mind your business. Okay. Raphael says, how can I? When nobody would believe that two adults stretching at 2:30 a.m. You never heard about platonic stretching before? Stretch more people, especially by the pool side, away from kids. Yeah. Like, brothers can't even stretch no more.
Apparently they can't.
It was a meme on Facebook that I shared, or one of these dumbass questions, and it was like, fellas, is it cheating if you buy a female from work breakfast? And I was like, well, obviously the answer is no. But this sounds like you cheating. Like, you clearly, the kind of person that asks a question like that, you fucked a chick in an IHOP bathroom and your girl caught you and you blaming IHOP.
Like, it's IHOP fault.
It's the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity, girl. It ain't me. I can't even buy breakfast no more. Damn. J Damo says, wow, that's really disappointing to hear about Hassan. What made me like him was his
he was like, damn, now he was like, my girl salty just like that country ham we had.
J Damo says, wow, that's really disappointing to hear about Hassan. What made me like him was his vulnerability and his stand-up and how he took messed up stuff and made it funny. Yeah, and I think that was a big part of his appeal. The fact that people are brushing that off is crazy to me.
Right.
And of course, you just can't be the person that runs the Daily Show if the whole thing is the people have to feel like they can trust you with the facts. And the biggest attack on the Daily Show is people saying, oh, they play with the facts. That's the liberal media bias. They're not real. We can't put a person in charge, or I don't think you should, where that actually is a real problem in their life.
Right.
Alicia says the Cat 9 unit made me laugh out loud in the bathroom at work. Who knows what people think I'm doing in here? Thank you. And that was like a quick one. I didn't know if anybody was really catching that one. Thank you. Sandy says, not the hoses, the GSD, and he's from the motherland. Appia got some splaining to do. Get your people. Now, you know how Appia's over her mind is gonna work. She really gonna write in to try to explain why them white people hose them black people down. You know she can't help herself. Why you do that to her?
Don't do that to Appia.
There's gonna be three comments responding to each other with her being like, And I don't mean it this way, but not this.
Yeah, I didn't mean it that way.
When I met new black people at the hospital, I didn't hose them down.
Mm-mm.
You know,
I turned my water hose off.
Ty Flojan says, I caught the smoke for this today at work. # minding my black ass business. Carrie says, and drink water. It keeps your skin clear. Exactly. All right. Let's go to the last episode of the week. That was our recap of The Walking Dead, episode 2777. That confessed to a murder super gorilla grip wet. Miss Barnes says, thank you, Rod, for saying the quiet part out loud. I thought the only thing missing from that browser scene was a black leather clad Pamela and a ball gag in Hornsby's mouth. Sadly, I too watched too much porn, shaking my damn head.
Yes, because me and Roger, I was like, is this sexual? Did they fucking know?
Right.
The Walking Dead didn't tell us that they had a relationship?
I thought she was going to pull a whip out on his ass.
Right. I was like, is she trying to squeeze his dick? What is happening here?
Right. EVE says, if that had been anyone other than Jerry, Aaron would have been thrown to the zombies. At the very least, he would have been yoked up with a who the fuck you talking to, right? He lucky he got the right one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got Mr. Happy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The poll was, would you have been pissed with Aaron if you were Jerry? 100% yes. Mm-hmm. And 100% yes. So that was an easy one. And the Spotify Q&A was, yes, Princess, don't settle for could be worse. And Miss Barnes said, had to shed the glory tale because she was spitting. She was, because since we rewatched I asked Roger every week, where the fuck is Princess? Like every week I'm like, where is she? Yes.
I had questions.
All right, now we have voicemails to get to. I'm gonna play a little bit of music so we can have a place to put commercials later on. Full transparency, you know how we get down, everybody.
This can't be true.
I see you, Jaffa likes that one. 704-557-0186 is the voicemail line. Let's get to the voicemails. We got 6.
Oh, y'all had something to say.
What the fuck happened?
I was about to say, what the hell were we talking about this week?
Hey, just wanted to wish happy birthday to the birthday man over there. Happy birthday, Rod. Just a fan, Olufemi, up in Canada. Just realized it was your birthday, or I might have missed it. And if I did, forgive me, bro. Hope y'all are doing well. I would ping you on Twitter, or whatever that thing is, but I don't mess with it that much right now. So,
I don't blame you.
Happy birthday. Have a good one.
Oh, thank you. And listen, I don't
mind late birthday. Happy birthday.
Well, it's not your birthday. It's up to me to say.
No,
I don't mind. I don't mind like belated birthday comments. Okay. But also shout out to to you and Canada for that, for showing some love.
Thank you, baby.
Then this woman, Emily, left a bunch of spam messages because I assume it's a bot. So you won't be getting these digits, Emily. Okay, nice try. Next one's from Allegra.
Hello, you two. It's Allegra. You might get some background noise. I'm walking on the campus. I'm sorry. I work for UC Berkeley, so I'm walking on the campus right now.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm listening to your birthday episode where you talk about what you did for your birthday. Happy belated, Rod. You guys are so fantastic on the live show. I had such a blast in the chat on the Zoom portion. It was so great. You guys are amazing. Karen, you're beautiful as always. And I'm here to talk about the ire, the anger that you have, Rod, for not getting your PSL. Listen, I'm a white woman of color as well. I've been on that PSL for a bazillion years because I worked as a barista for a bazillion years. And I remember the day it came out, or at least the day I got some, and I was like, this shit is delicious. And now because it's all popular, can't nobody get none. So I'm sorry, Rod, that you had to go through that. The painful experience. I hope that by the time you got this message that your PSL has been replenished, and these folks out here need to stop lying because that shit's delicious.
I'm with you, girl. Yeah, and for me, it's more the anger and the hurt at the betrayal and the lies. You know, for so long on the internet, Black people lied to me and said that the pumpkin spice was nasty, that it wasn't good. And much like Lauren Boebert's titties, I refuse to acknowledge a world where we are living amongst lies. Okay, them titties was sitting. Sorry, but that is we have to acknowledge facts and reality, or else when I call this woman a piece of shit later, it's like well, I don't trust you because you just lied and said her titties wasn't sitting. That's how I feel about pumpkin spice. I don't trust these people no more because y'all be lying. And now I'm supposed to sit up here and believe like, oh yeah, pumpkin spice is nasty. Wait, I tried it. It's delicious. So how am I supposed to believe anything else y'all say? Sugar is great in grits. Everybody loves Arby's. You fucking liars. Next voicemail.
Hi, this is Rachel. I'm from Missouri, and I've called a couple of times, and I just wanted to say I really appreciate you guys doing the Walking Dead recaps. What's funny is I don't even watch the show. I quit watching the show when Negan became a thing. It just turned my stomach so much. I couldn't handle it. And so we haven't watched the show in years. I have no idea what's going on. But what's funny is I love listening to your recaps of it. I enjoy them more than I ever would watching the show again. So I really appreciate you doing those. Just wanted to let y'all know that. So somebody's listening to these. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Rachel.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, I get it. I know the show can be gory and stuff too. So
yes, for some people they've never watched it because they're like, I just can't deal with that. I completely understand.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have my level of gore, but this right here is like at the lower, the lower end.
Negan was definitely a lot.
Yes, he was.
I never forget that. Taking it like a champ.
Yes, it was over the top. Jeffrey Dean Morgan played his part.
Glenn was, I will find you. Oh, what a scene. Acting. Next voicemail.
Hey, Rod and Karen. This is Emerald. I've definitely left a few reviews and stuff before and stuff on Instagram, but I had to call. I literally had to stop listening to the Walking Dead recap and come over here because y'all talking about folks having medication. And why did Karen say they are prepped? I don't think y'all realize how funny you are just naturally. It's just ridiculous to me. And Rod, use that Percocet. Hey, that's not for mental health.
It's not.
I mean,
ask Future. Like Percocet not supposed to be for mental health, but Future got some undiagnosed mental health. That's why he be fucking with that Percocet. Black people love to just substitute. Go to the doctor. They'll give you some real stuff, Future. You stop harassing your baby mama.
Sometimes I'll be listening and I'm legit having conversations with y'all because I really feel like we are like having this conversation together. So interactively, I just had to jump off because that was one of my favorite things right now. You guys bring me so much joy. It's ridiculous. Thank you.
Man. Thank you. She left another one afterward.
Hey, Rod and Karen. It's Emerald. Yes, I just called yesterday or earlier today, I think, talking about Walking Dead. Either way, I'm listening to episode 2776, Get in the Box. And y'all are talking about the folks that got hosed down by the neighbor. So yeah, we are not doing that. We do not, keep people's identity private that do things like that. His name is Marcus. Hold on, let me pull it up for you now. Marcus Rosenbrock is the person. Rosebrock. Marcus Rosebuck, and he is a stay-at-home father who has now received threats following a lawsuit accusing him of racism after he hosed down his black neighbors in a bid to break up their party. And then he talked some crap about had to inform the school because he's a class parent and he volunteers at the school.
Wow.
So they had to let him know because rumors spread. Listen, I didn't just make that up. Google and you'll be able to find it. Because again, just like y'all said, how come we have the names of everybody else that was at the party?
Right.
But the offender.
Right.
They always do it. They always hide these people's identity. And it's always when it's them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean when I say that.
The whites. Yes. We know exactly what you mean. Thank you so much. And like, small world, one of the people that was at the party listens to the Blackout Tips.
The world is small.
And she DM'd us on Instagram to be like, thank y'all for talking about it. And yeah, we was there. And you right. Like everything you said, but it's lawsuits happening, so we can't say everything. I'm not even gonna say their name, but I was like, okay, because I've listen, I'm not, and I wasn't even trying to denigrate the folks, because I think sometimes people shit on black people for stuff like, oh, you moved to that neighborhood, you think you safe. I'm like, nah, man, everybody wants safety.
Right.
Everybody wants, the fruits of the American dream and shit. I'm not knocking you for that. As long as you ain't out here saying nothing bad about black folks,
I'm good.
I get it.
Yes, sir.
But I was like, you could tell from just the picture. I was like, these are a certain type of black people, man. I know they weren't up there cutting up. I know they weren't, not in a way that they know the space they're in.
Correct.
So they wouldn't be, they know that we surrounded by a bunch of old money people that's probably harboring a bunch of racial biases and shit. And they're like, man, we get it. We just gonna have a nice party here and da-da-da-da. And next thing you know, this shit. But thank you. And man, y'all are so sweet about these Walking Deads. Thank you.
I'm so glad we decided to do it, and it's been worth it, and I have been enjoying it, and it's been ramping up, and I can't wait to see how this ends. And after this, we'll wrap up Fear. So shout out for the people.
The key is
looking for that one.
The key is honestly that we get we have all the episodes. We could just binge this shit if we want to, but we're watching it like we would have watched it when it came on and saving the episodes and so that it's fresh for y'all every week. So, and man, y'all are so sweet. Just knowing that y'all appreciate it, honestly, it makes it so much worth it. I wouldn't give a fuck if 5 people heard it.
Right.
The fact y'all even picked up y'all phone, multiple people, to just say y'all appreciate this, it means a lot.
It was like, I am one of the 5. So shout out to all 12 of y'all. We gonna go through this to the end.
Next voicemail and last voicemail.
Well, it's that time again. It's your boy Blue Wave Rider back in your Skype. So listening to the show when you asked why the bourbon chicken samples was better than the bourbon chicken meal. There's one reason for that. Crack.
Okay.
That's all I got. I'm going to hit you up later. By the way, really love Drake today.
Oh, thank you. Bye. Okay. Now we got to the bottom of it. He didn't say if he was a scientist or not. I'm just going to assume that he is a scientist, but I think you have given to me what is the most scientific explanation is crack. They put a little crack in it. The first hit's free. Then I go trying to get some more of the crack, but now I'm eating placebo chicken. This ain't got the crack in it. It's been stepped on. It's got baking soda and shit in it. And now I'm just chasing the high.
They cut it down.
I'm chasing the high of the samples. That makes sense. Because I've been in the mall before and they pull out themselves and like, oh, we almost out. And I'm like, come on, baby. Start scratching my neck. I got these 2 cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Please, baby, don't do me like this. All right. Let's get to doing it for the gram, because I didn't forget this week.
Yay!
So we actually have some doing it for the gram to do. For the gram, 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 for the gram. All right, doing it for the gram this week. We didn't get any comments on our Facebook for doing it for the gram, but on Instagram we got a lot. But not as many as normal because I think the question was a little more like this might not work for everybody. Mm-hmm. So the question that I asked was, what is the pickup line that worked for you? Okay. And I was gonna have work for you / on you, but then at the same time I was like, maybe that'll confuse people. Mm-hmm. So I just left it as for you. So if you took it as the pickup line that worked and I gave somebody my number, or whichever way,
however you interpret it. Yeah.
So the lucky nun says, I was on AIM.
Not AIM.
Damn.
A sex location.
and my just friends crush. He said he was running to the gas station for a drink. I said, ooh, bring me a cherry Coke. He got my address, ran it by, stayed to talk outside for 5 hours, and we never shut up since. Been together 21 years. Wow. What a beautiful meet cute. And that was back when we didn't trust the internet. We thought everybody was coming over the house to kill us.
Yes, we did.
We was like, oh, you gave your address. Oh, Lord, girl, you dead. I'm going to miss you.
They ain't killed you yet.
Right. Wangangi says, it wasn't even a line. We were chatting in her car after hanging out, and I guess I was being too polite because she initiated. She so happy to have my mind read. Being Melly says, heaven is definitely missing an angel. Yeah, he got the draws and the kid. Don't judge me. Listen, if it worked, it worked. I ain't judging. Cynthia says, another one. So she left a comment early. These are out of order, but she says, another one. He's a Virgo, and when he found out my zodiac sign is Sagittarius, he proclaimed we were Beyonce and Jay-Z. LOL, the beehive in me is easily excitable. That's funny. He's like, because I'm gonna cheat on you, girl. Okay, I'm gonna embarrass the hell out of you, and then you're gonna take me back, and then I'm gonna be a good husband, and I'm gonna go to therapy. And she's like, nah, skip that part. DJ Java says, hi, I'm the resident DJ here. Oh, okay, that's kind of a flex. She wasn't impressed. Oh, never mind. I guess it's not a flex. She wasn't impressed, but gave me a shot. 29 years later, we're still together. She still ain't impressed.
She's like, okay, I guess.
That is how it be. I understand. Hail Holly 666. Whoa, that sounds devil worshipy. Says, you look like an Abercrombie model. This was back in 7th grade when those stores were all the rage. I guess that could work, yeah. Mm-hmm. Cynthia also said he commented on a workflow pic on IG. If I worked there, I'd sexually harass you. Oh God, you got to type. She like him a little problematic, just a little bit. Like
not a whole lot, just
like,
a little bit.
Girl, if I worked at your job, I'd be at HR every day because I'd be I would be a problem for you at your job. She's like, oh, say more. I give up all 50,000, okay, of my salary. That's such a funny pickup line in a bad way, but also
yes. It was like, girl, I lose my job for you, basically.
Girl, let me tell you right now, okay? They had to put a restraining order to keep me out the building, okay? Because
that's not a good thing.
They're gonna have to write me up several times because I'm inappropriate. Ariel says, but I guess you know what? It's not harassment if you like them. That's how it goes. Ariel says, what kind of wine do you like? Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
Doesn't feel like a pickup line, but I can see how it is.
Particularly if you into wine.
My Uncle Carlos says, stole this one from UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What can Brown do for you? That's hilarious.
What's wrong with Carlos?
What can BBC do for you? Okay. Aman ubiquitously says, there was no line, but I guess he really had me when he lent me his copy of Batman No Man's Land because I told him I love Batman. I love a novel recommendation. That's a good one.
Oh, shit, nerd love.
Yeah, that's not really a line either, but I like that. Dang, it's so hot out here. It's because you out here, says R. Bear Me. Oh, that's corny enough to work.
Yes, it is.
PhD 15 says, I have never met anyone like you. How can I get to know you better? Oh, flattering, earnest. Leo Incarnate says, my now wife. So when are you going to take me out? Oh, that's a good one. that will work on me for sure. That will work.
I'll quit fucking around.
I'll be like, oh shit, she do like me. You know?
Right, because Roger be missing all the cues. He be dodging cues like Matrix. He don't know what's happening.
I need that level of aggressiveness. I don't know if somebody likes me till we're having sex. I'm like, oh, I guess they like me. Okay. Cool. Kasawa says, I asked if she had a CDL, and when she answered, I said, I was just wondering if you needed one for that absolute dump truck of an ass. I was trying to be funny. It worked. I was shocked. I would be shocked too. You could also get the police called on you. You took a chance. Ice Black says, damn girl, you walk really fast. Most women don't walk as fast as me. Granted, it took a year to get the first date because after a few weeks we lost contact with each other at school. But that was the first thing I said to my wife. Wow. Damn girl, you walk really fast.
Y'all must have been booking it across campus.
That's not even like a line. That's just an observation.
Yep.
But I think low key people like being noticed.
They do.
Because we just don't pay that much attention to people. And some, like I remember when I was in high school for a year at Harding, there was this girl, Jamila. I'll never forget. I was walking down like the hallway towards something, listening to headphones or just, I don't know, just kind of in my own thoughts, looking down at my feet. And she just stopped me and said, hey, you should always walk with your head up high. And I was like, what? I was just like, I can't believe you were even paying attention to me. I was just in my own world and I wasn't even thinking about that. But, and like I said, I didn't been like, and then we got married. It was nothing like that. It's just, a person noticed me. And I think a lot of these lines aren't necessarily the most clever. It's just, oh, you noticed me. I walk fast.
You're very, people observe people more than people think. Because a lot of times people just be so trapped up in their own little world that they don't pay attention. People don't always see how they impact things around them. And so you could be just doing things, and that might be something where they were like, hey, I've always noticed your head down. Like, look up.
And then Metal Steakface said, do I know you through an IG DM? We'll be together 4 years in November. Damn.
Oh,
that worked.
Sweet.
Well, I like to get to do. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's fuck, says Eve. In my defense, I used to be a hoe. Well, listen.
Hoes need love too.
Hoe is life. Okay. And if it worked, it worked.
Straightforward.
I think that's another thing too, is like a lot of people treat pickup lines and stuff as if like you need to woo somebody and you got to convince. I think a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people be like, I'm gonna fuck this person. They know early on, and they just need to know that you're down too. So let's fuck probably will work on a lot of people because it's like, that's exactly what I was thinking. All right, let's go to the emails. That was doing it for the gram. Thank you everyone who participated. Email time. So hard. All right, let's talk emails. We got a lot of them. This one's a fan from Kenya. Says, I don't want you to butcher my name. Danny is what they're going by, and I don't blame them because I see their name and I was gonna fuck it up. I'm just gonna let you know right off top. You right.
Thank you, sweetie.
Hey, Karen and Rod. I've been listening to the both of you ever since I discovered the podcast from Vice. Yes, when we were on Vice for Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Then I stuck around for the other episodes and never looked back. When you two take breaks, I think I go through a withdrawal and I don't know what to listen to anymore. Though I do understand the need to take a breather. Well, thank you for understanding, because we're going to do it anyway. Love the two of you and listen to your perspective on whatever comes up in the episodes. I've been those ones silently waiting for the Walking Dead recap. So I've been stoked about it since you stopped watching the show at the end of season 9. Both of you are incredible individuals. Fan from Kenya, Daddy. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie.
Let's see. Jaffo says, happy birthday, Rod. I hope you're having a fantastic day and year. LOL. Please tell Karen her hair is gorgeous and I need to know what she is putting on it.
Oh,
I missed you guys. Been on a break from social media and back in school for a career change. Hope you and yours are doing well. All my best. Take care, Jaffo.
We are doing pretty good. Yes. Thank you.
Someone wrote just a comment on Podbean that just says, it cut off before the end for episode. This is 45. Yeah, I don't know. It was I checked everywhere else. It was fine. I don't know what the fuck wrong with Podbean.
Yes, Podbean.
Yeah. So it's something on their side, not us. But hey, come on over to Death Row. We got Spotify, we got Apple Podcasts, we got everywhere else had it fine.
Yeah, everywhere else. YouTube.
Just don't go to Google Podcasts. They shutting that shit down too.
Yeah, Google Podcasts is RIP, just like Stitcher Radio. RIP.
B Black says going back to Charlotte. Greetings, Rod and Karen. Seeing you two at September 9th live recording was an absolute pleasure. After we took that picture together, there was so much I wanted to say at that moment, but then I remember you two were human beings with places to be, and I was better off saving it for the next feedback show. Thank you for understanding. Aww. Plus, we have like we were going to dinner and stuff, and we had been doing the show, working all day. So thank you for the thoughtfulness. When I started the year, I told myself I would get out of this rut I've been in since 2020 by traveling. I had no idea where at the time. I knew I needed to do something involving getting on a plane. Fast forward to the end of July, I listened to one of your episodes where Karen beats you to the punch and announces your intention to do a show on Saturday.
I'd be so excited.
September 9th. Yes, just like when she killed my Joker. Man, at that moment, I had God's Plan by Drake minus the corny video playing in my head, since I had previously booked a ticket to be in Newark, Jersey at that for the same weekend to attend a spoken word show. When the finalized details were announced, I adjusted my itinerary to be in Charlotte for the recording. It's a good thing I did, because lousy weather in New Jersey the day before caused my flight to be delayed and I missed the show. Attending your recording saved me from a disappointing trip to the U.S. Oh, man. And it was a pleasure to meet you as well. In interest of not overthinking this message and forgetting about it, in my draft photo, I'm going to leave you with some random feedback in point form.
Okay.
Charlotte is a beautiful city and I need to go back. It is. And it's so black. And you don't think about it. This is one of the reasons I think when there's certain people that listen to our show, like, actually, no. There's a shit ton of black people that listen to our show from all over the place. And a lot of them relate to the way we talk and the things we talk about, even though they don't live here.
Right.
And a lot of that's because just our experience, even being in the South, even being in North Carolina, is one where I've never questioned my blackness. I've never had to worry about it being affirmed. I haven't, even when I've been the only black person in a white space, that shit has never really bothered me or got to me in any type of identity crisis way.
Right.
Because I only lived in black neighborhoods. My family black as fuck. My friends and all this things. Like, so I think there's a lot of black people that relate to that, and we attract those people. And then there's also like, I didn't grow up also with the like, we need to attack the other black folks who are different than us type of thing, because when everyone in your neighborhood is black, everyone's different. Like everyone's the same, but everyone's different. So I did know the black kids that went to like a Catholic school, but I played basketball with them, so they black,
Yeah. And I'm of the thing where I love my blackness and yours. So like, Roger, you knew the blacks that were like super highly educated, could speak multiple language. You knew the blacks that loved anime. You knew the blacks like in all these genres. So as an adult, when I get online, I'm like, no, nigga, I knew black people that did this shit too.
So I forget, but part of that is because of where I'm from. It's because Charlotte. I love Charlotte. It's no offense to the people from New York, and hopefully they won't take it offensively. I love New Yorkers, and the black people and everybody actually that I met in New York was super dope and nice to me.
Yes.
And they made it feel like a home away from home. But when they would ask like, so how you like New York? I was like, it's dope, but I want to go home. And part of the reason I want to go home is because I love it the way they love New York. They know the blackness of New York and the life of New York and everything there. That's how I know Charlotte. So but it's a beautiful city and it's underrated. It's so funny because when people come here, they're always like, oh shit, this is actually pretty lit, but it's never, especially our age group. Like I could see young people feeling more like, fuck this shit. But people with like families or older or like kind of like just want to like chill, but you still have opportunities to go out and do things, but it's more of a chill city.
Right.
I think, people love coming here. I had a great time at the show. My only regret is not interacting with and getting to know more fans. Well, don't be in your head about that. That's fine. And also like, it's totally fine. I think if we were doing the show and if it was us putting it on and you probably had a little bit more time, you might, and obviously COVID too, but you might see more people planning stuff.
Yeah.
Like, well, let's go to this outing. Let's do something. Because sometimes fans will do that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't normally organize those things.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of let fans do it
if
they want to.
Correct.
I managed to find a black therapist who was familiar with the show. She was instrumental in getting me to set a resolution to travel in 2023. Oh, man, what a small world.
It is, right?
I'm happy you're doing recaps of The Walking Dead because I watched the whole series anticipating the recap. Someone at AMC owes you to a check. Well, I think honestly, man, and I feel bad because we're behind on Fear, but one of the dopest things ever was someone who worked at Fear the Walking Dead went on the hashtag on Twitter to say, hey, we like do set design and costumes, all this stuff. We listen to your Fear the Walking Dead recaps on speaker here while we're doing the show. And that meant so much to me because I want the people that make the art that we love to feel appreciated.
Yes.
And I know it's, the cool thing to do for everybody is to always be like super critical and hate all the shit, but watch all the shit and never give it props and just complain. And I don't want to do a show like that. And I would love that we did a recap that people that work on it can listen to. And we're silly and we're not unobservant. So like if there's something that's funny that we're like, oh, this is weird. I know that they could laugh at that too because we're not being mean about it. We're saying like, oh yeah, they needed a zombie to bust through the wall, so it busted through the wall.
Yes, convenient zombie.
Karen, there's rarely been an episode where you've asked a question that I wasn't also asking, especially during White People News.
I'm glad I represent them people because I'm
happy belated birthday, Rod. Thank you. That's it for now. Thanks for an amazing podcast. Chat with you all later. Be Black. Thank you, Be Black.
Thank you.
I also like that your name sounds like a command.
Yes.
Aaron says, I think I know why Arby stays in business. Apparently they sell drugs and own every restaurant. And it's this TikTok video with this person.
Hey, Arby's, let me ask you something right quick, bitch.
Hold on a second. I'll pull it up on screen.
No problem.
But I saw this video because anything with Arby's.
When y'all actually get a customer, do you just assume that they need directions?
And it's like Arby's is getting picked on by Baskin Robbins and all these restaurants.
Okay.
And then the conceit of the joke is eventually Arby's goes through and you realize Arby's owns all the shit.
Bitch. Yeah, that's real funny, bitch. Hey, real quick, you want to know what else is funny? I own both of y'all. Bitch, I own both of y'all. Nuh-uh. Honestly, I don't even understand why y'all are surprised. I own everything. Bitch, that is not true. You don't own
That's Mo's Southwest Grill.
Bitch, you own me? I do, bitch. Man, y'all some sorry-ass bitches letting this punk
Slash Keys Deli.
Son of a bitch! Bitch, there is no way.
Jamba Juice.
There is no... Bitch, just let us make our pretzels in peace.
Auntie Anne's.
Nah! Bitch, how are you doing?
Jimmy John's. Yeah, so it's funny. Y'all
That's
look it
hilarious.
Up. But yeah, so good. So good. Everybody's so creative. Aaron Wright,
like y'all come from me, bitch. I own everything.
Right. Aaron Wright in to say, hello, Rod and Karen. I know this has been said many times before, but this regarding the Kids Online Safety Act or whatever they want to call it. I know it's supposed to protect kids from dangers online, and they are really trying to ban the queer community from being seen. Mm-hmm. My question is, y'all know that they will still find out, right? Like, no matter what bans you put in place, people will find their community somewhere, and it's not like they won't meet a gay person in real life or on TV. Right. The kids will eventually find out. Heck, their best friend might even be gay. I know they don't care and are trying to spread an agenda, but like, be for real. Yeah, and also, like, to me, I will say, it sounds like I'm giving up ground to conservatives when I say this on this face, but I'm not. When they say, if we have content that shows queer people, it will turn some of our kids gay. It will turn them queer. They're absolutely right. And not what they mean it in like some weird, like a switch is flipped. Right. No, it'll teach your kid people exist like you. Right. Correct. And it's okay. And it's going to be okay. And you can have a future. And since these people have come from all kinds of different various backgrounds, hey, a lot of people are like, I didn't have supportive parents just like you. And I had to move, but I went and found my fucking happiness and I found my chosen family. That's what they're afraid of, that the kids are going to, quote unquote, turn gay because they're going to see you ain't got to live like this.
No, you don't.
Also, separate topic, but The View can be real ignorant and silly sometimes. I'm glad the writers will be coming back, LOL. I wish I did have the ability to sniff out gay men. Do you know how useful that would be? All the times I would not need to hit on a straight guy accidentally because they smell gay. That is true. That is true. Like that's awkward, especially in the world where gay panic is a fucking defense for in court that works sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, this person tried to treat me the way I treat women. It's like, what they do? They say they like me. Oh, so I had to kill them. Like, what?
That's not how that works.
Do you know how messy that would be? Guys denying that they're gay or don't know if yet, and other gays are like, honey, we got news for you. That would be funny.
We're sorry to disappoint you,
but it's also good because I feel like there's a lot of people that like they might be questioning or they might be paying or they might be something, but I feel like it's not beyond somebody to be like, I smell the gay on you. Let's be gay. And you're like, I guess yes. I don't know. Am I? Pretty sure I'm straight. No, Chris Hemsworth. I've been smelling it all day.
It's gay. Something about this smell.
You need to try this out. Mandy says, dear Rod and Karen, thank you so much for the episode you did with Live in Color and that stupid mofo from Rolling Stone magazine who dismissed Black people of being the foundation of American music. My heart leapt with joy because everything all of y'all said was exactly what I always felt and wish I could say to other Black people, especially bluegrass music. I've been listening and learning from Black artists who do folk, Americana, bluegrass on the origins of banjo, like Rhiannon Giddens, Jake Blount, Allison Russell, Leela Michaela, Adia Victoria, who have done and are doing the work of educating people about the origins of the banjo from Africa and its history with Black people in America during slavery, but it falls on deaf ears of Black people in the Black media. I wish those artists got a lot more love from Black media, but it will never happen, sad to say. I might get some heat from what I'm about to say, but your emails always take a left, but here we go. It's like I might get some heat from what I'm about to say, but we need to stop talking about how Black people are the foundation of music whenever a white person dismisses our contribution and display Black diverse artists from non-R&B, soul, and rap year-round more. Let us put Lenny Kravitz, Slash, or Tom Morello on a cover of Black magazines because I wish I could see them on a Black magazine cover. I'm tired of hearing Black people are not a monolith yet want to be monolithic, man. Here's what I'll say to that. I would bet money, and I don't mean to be mean. Matter of fact, let me rephrase it because it was gonna sound mean. I would bet money Lenny Kravitz has been on Black magazine covers. Like, it's not just Rolling Stone. That being said, I'll take your point, and I do think a lot of times instead of bemoaning the days past, we should also be making sure we're lifting up the people that are still here today and the people that are carrying on those legacies. The only thing I'll say is, why not both? Why not both? Because I think bringing up that this is that we are foundational to the music doesn't do anything to disregard the people that are continuing to carry on that legacy. So I think you can have both, Mandy.
Yeah, I also think you can have both too, because the thing is, you're always, because of white people and white supremacy, you're always going to have somebody every day who learns something new. So that's the biggest reason why you keep repeating it. And that's the biggest reason why it's raised up. Because if you don't raise it up, you're going to have people like me who are raised up that don't know and just buy in and just be like, that's some white boy shit, when that's not the reality of it. Like you can educate people on the past and also educate people on now and also educate people on the future, because you don't know who out there might can hear that and go back and do their digging and find all these people that have done these things that they might not be aware of, and spark something within them that they can be the future of these genres of music, or create a completely different genre of music. But you got to know the roots and the history of it. And, it's one of those things where, and I do agree with you saying, I do understand, but to an extent, things like that is how history gets erased. Because if you don't say anything at all you're going to have people that go, that white boy shit, that's white boy shit, that's white boy shit.
We're fighting the erasure. Like, the reason I think I don't agree totally with the premise of our email is in the context of the conversation we're having. We're talking about a person who's over Rolling Stone magazine and is picking who he considers to be the masters of the genre.
Right.
We're not going to just be like, oh, now's a good time to say Lenny Kravitz. No, now's a good time to point out all the Black people that have ever contributed that have been glossed over by your publication, that have been glossed over by, just the media in general. Like, now's not the time to be like, who we need to be talking about is Black people not doing a good enough job of that. It's like, nah, we're talking about your ass now. You on the Summer Jam screen, let's descend. You put your shit out here.
Right. And it's a systemic issue. So, and he's part of the systemic problem. So you have to be like, well, what about the people that have been glossed over because of you and your choices?
So Ms. Barnes says, good afternoon, Rod and Karen. I hope this email finds you well today. I wanted to share a belated birthday present to you that sadly is an inconvenience to me. In Martin's voice, you schemed, you plotted, and damn, now you got me. Are you happy? The Arby's around the corner from me is closed. I could not believe it.
How they close?
Why are they closed? Yeah, I know, right? Because it's not like they were dependent on the food to make money. The thing is, this Arby's look like it's from 1905.
Oh, child, that was the original Arby's. Child, I ain't seen a sign like that since I was a goddamn kid.
Right. Like, what is this even doing open in the first place?
When was that open? 1902? That was like the first, we was like the very first Arby's.
It can't be because people was going in there and this motherfucking Oregon Trail ass Arby's. So yeah, I've been going to that one for years, and all of a sudden I see the famous cowboy hat taken down. Here are pics of the proof. I had to shed some thug tears about that thing. In the meantime, I did take your suggestion for the Marvel exhibit at Disney Discovery Place and had a ball. And yes, the gift shop was a trap, wasn't it?
Yes, because it's right at the end. You like, yeah, you get it. It's like, boom, and you're like, oh shit, I got to buy something.
Of course, Karen fell for it.
Child, hook, line, and sinker.
While telling us not to fall for it.
Of course, I am the problem. I'm going, well, it's a trap while I'm standing there stuffing shit in the bag.
And she says, have a wonderful day as I find a new Arby's. Love, Miss Barnes. Well, I'm sure there's plenty of them out there.
Yeah, yes.
And there's no waiting line, so you'll get the food. Simone says, hey, Rod and Karen, I too lost it reading and then seeing the video of the Forest Hill doctor having a birthday dinner for her sister who was recently engaged, ruined by racist attacks. Their Caribbean heritage, Doc is Haitian. Hearing Burris Hammond music in the background, my parents are Jamaican. The celebrity chef is also of Haitian descent, and this is a 3-minute drive from my place, all combined to fill me with rage. We got told to do the right thing, and even when we do, racists feel entitled to do whatever, and the police don't drag them off in cuffs. Karen was right about the New York prices for homes. You can't even park a car on the street over there unless you have a pass displayed in your car because streets are private. There were attorneys at the party, and perhaps that helped prevent violence. as messed up as it is, I'm glad you shared the article because I get tired of people thinking all of NYC is so liberal. Yeah, this is the home of Officer Mayor Eric Adams. Like, these motherfuckers is not liberal. Like,
Donald Trump came out of there. A lot of people came out of New York.
The reason people think it's fucking liberal is because conservatives attack it and hate it. And so everybody goes, well, New York must be a liberal utopia. It's like, no, it's fucking not.
You go outside of New York City, they got them flags waving like they're up there like they do down here too.
No, she's talking about New York City. I'm not talking about outside of New York City. I'm saying inside New York City. It's a lot of people that's racist.
Yes.
They dealing with shit too. You know, the NYPD is notorious for a reason. It's a reason they're allowed to continue to exist, and they haven't defunded them and all the other shit they claim liberal people want, because the liberal people don't actually have the numbers like that,
right?
Like people think. I've lived here my whole life and have only heard the hard ER used here or written on the side of my childhood home in Brooklyn in the late 80s. Anyway, the live show was so good. It was my first trip to Charlotte. I went solo and had a great time. Can't wait for the next live show. I didn't get to enjoy my Afro Grind coffee because my mother stole all 3 packs and I had to place an order online, but I have to use the code. Wow. Well, thanks for supporting the sponsor, but man, your mom ain't playing.
She was like,
damn.
Ooh, coffee?
That's a lot of coffee too.
What did know?
I had sipped wine from my chalice, and it makes me want to rewatch Game of Thrones. Well, you gonna be sipping with us when we do the recaps?
Mm-hmm. One thing about the strike, you go, yes, it's time to get the recording, y'all. Let's go.
Also, I've been happily enjoying the Walking Dead recaps. I started watching the show in part because of you both, and it's been great to go back and rewatch. I know it is more work for you, and it is appreciated. Y'all really are the best. Love y'all, Simone. Thank you, Simone.
There in the chat, they said she wanted to steal the mug too.
Damn, the mug. Your mama's a gangster.
But all right, mama, you got the coffee. You can't take the mug too now. Come on now.
Your mama don't play.
You walk in, she was like, "What's in there?" This is for the years of me sitting down. Every time I sit down, you ask me what I wanted.
Adam writes in that Rue episode. Hello, Rod and Karen. I love the episode with Corey and Vernon come on the show. Hearing them talk about touring, Rolling Stones debacle, and dealing with technical difficulties. It was still a great show. If you haven't seen it's a Living Color Go concert, go see them. I've seen them 3 times. I want to go for 4 and more. Love the show and thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely, man. That's such a great show. And someone on Twitter was in the hashtag like, I'm gonna be in Seattle when they there, but I wasn't able to get a ticket. If y'all could just like help me get a ticket, I'll just retweet it and say Signal Boost. If you're a Living Color fan, somehow help this brother get a ticket. They want to go. Jeff says, dear Rod and Karen, happy belated birthday, Rod. Pumpkin spice wishes from Japan. Why not sweet potato spice out yet? I wonder. Just wanted to talk on episode 2766, Got in the Box. So many great talks on this episode, but the Fucking With Us article on the doctor and his people getting hosed by his neighbors in Queens, New York City had me, I guess, mad, and I wanted to speak on it. Forest Hills is an upscale part of Queens, but very diverse and not an area like other parts where we can run away from other black folks. Okay. It's interesting because I've heard already differing opinions, but I feel like, all right, well, yeah. The sad and disgusting thing is, truth be told, so many people non-native to NYC have moved in, like in Brooklyn, and along with that have brought their racist bullshit. Yes, Queens is hella racist. In 1986, a black man was beaten, chased onto the highway, killed by an oncoming car. And you know about Yusuf Hawkins in Brooklyn being shot over a car in 1989. So many more things. But Forest Hill was a place we considered neutral territory for us to go without hassle. But maybe 30 years may have changed it. This shit is what Ta-Nehisi Coates talked about in one of the last chapters of Between the World and Me. And you know it. About the black family, I know it, yeah. About the black family who thought they'd done everything right, but their son was killed by a black cop at that. The police over there are also showing they don't give a shit by ignoring the report. Fucking bastards. I think as he said, it always only takes one bad motherfucking day to ruin it for us, all for us. To let us know that these racist fuckers are just as nasty and always and feel like our feelings don't matter. And y'all said, someone got to move after this shit. And those bastards really picked the wrong people to fuck with. And I hope they sue their asses off. All right. Thanks and love, Jeff in Japan. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Kiana writes in. I'm always so happy to hear Living Color on the show because they drop so many gems about music. I agree with Rod about rejecting music our parents listened to and then circling back to it. My dad was a huge funk fan, so if he came home and wanted to blast Bootsy for 3 hours, the whole house had to listen to Bootsy for 3 hours. He did instill musical curiosity in me, but I definitely found my way back to Bootsy, Parliament, and everything he tried to hit me to, because honestly, it was just really fucking great music. I even got him into some stuff he forgot about, like Betty Davis. He liked Hendrix and some other rock, but didn't play that as much. After listening to Corey and Vernon, I'll be adding that to my catalog. Also, I have to admit, I also giggled when y'all were talking about eating kangaroo. About 15 or so years ago, my family was going away for Christmas. The big holiday dinner was a potluck, and my godmom, who is pretty adventurous when it comes to food, brought some ostrich. I was intrigued, decided to try it. It tasted kind of beefy. It had the same texture as pot roast. I can't say I'd ever eat it again, especially since I'm not sure what butcher she acquired it from. I'm not sure if the butcher she acquired it from did so in the most ethical means, but I didn't hate it. That's all I got. Love y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll try anything just about once. I don't mind. Like I don't know what it would take for me to be completely like, I would not try that. Probably something that I thought was gross. I don't think I would ever try escargot. I just don't think there's ever going to be, like, I'm not that kind of curious. I think a snail looks too weird.
Oh, that's snail. Okay.
Yeah. But like, yeah, ostrich, I fuck an ostrich up. I want to try it. What if it's good?
It's good.
Music segregation in the game show porn. This is John who says, good morning, Rod and Karen. Great episode with Vernon and Corey. Always so much fun. In the early 90s, I remember them being interviewed on a Boston radio station, and the DJ asked them if they like rap in a tone and manner that clearly showed he was expecting them to say no because they play rock, and especially at that time. If you were in the rock, part of that identity was that you had to shit on rap. Yeah, I remember that time. It was like I think it was one of the reasons as a kid I kind of picked up on, like, I don't think I want to be angry at them like they're angry at me, because I think what people don't remember, unless you're old enough or don't know, at the time that rap was coming up, there was a lot of this is not music, this is not real.
We didn't get respected.
For someone my age, I'm a kid, very impressionable kid at the time. I glommed onto that, and it's one of the reasons rap has such a like unifying and animosity of authority is because it was considered to be the not music of music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I didn't know at the time was so was rock and roll. At that, like, rock and roll started out there, but it got
as a rebellion.
Yeah, and once it became mainstream and white people decided it was okay, then it becomes the standard, and now it's like, well, part of being about rock is being against rap. But there was a lot of like rock and roll / rap crossovers and stuff that were huge. I still remember Public Enemy did that the Walk This Way song, and it was like, wow, look at this. This is a merging of the genres and a hey, we don't have to be against each other moment. Obviously Ice-T with Cop Killer, and it was. So it didn't.
I want to say Run DMC and Aerosmith.
Oh, I said Public Enemy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Run DMC. Public Enemy had one too, though, but I forget what theirs was.
Yeah, I don't remember.
What was Public Enemy? I forget what Public.
And that song was fucking huge. When it came out.
Yeah, but yeah, Walk This Way was Run DMC. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was. Seeing that kind of like blending of two of the genres that was supposed to be considered, taboo, it meant a lot at the time. Let's see. He says, of course, Hika was completely surprised. They were like, "Oh, we love rap," but that gives a pretty good idea of how real that segregation between musical genres was, and to some extent still is. I play jazz with a lot of old white guys who pride themselves on how open-minded they are about music, but if the subject of rap or hip-hop comes up, I'm always like, uh-oh, here we go. It was just sad. They have no idea what they are missing and how silly they look, claiming to be experts on music while they know nothing of the most dominant genre of the past 30 years. Rod, much as I love your idea for a glory hole style game show, it's already been done. No. You're thinking a game show. I didn't say that. I said dating show. Totally different. There's a Japanese There's a Japanese fake game show where a person's genitals are exposed, but their faces are hidden, and the contestants perform oral or penetrative sex and try to guess who they are. And of course, people behind the wall are, or most likely pretend to be, family members. Jav, never change, LOL. I mean, come on. First of all, don't disrespect me. I've seen those. All right. I know about the Japanese porn where they do the fake glory hole. And then it's a surprise it's your sister or whatever the fuck. It's very weird. But the point is, that's a game show. I'm saying a dating show, like The Bachelor.
Yeah.
You know, where the key is to find love, not to be like, oh, did I really fuck my wife or was it her sister? No. That's not what we do here. I want it where you have sex first in the glory hole. Then if the glory hole sex is good, you decide, am I going to try to pursue a relationship with this person?
Right.
That would be the whole show. That's it. How did these glory hole relationships go? So thank you for your contribution, but you got to understand the premise.
Somebody said the song was Bring the Noise.
Yes, Bring the Noise. Yes, that shit was off the fucking chain, off the chain. And of course, there's like tons of remixes. Jay-Z and Linkin Park album, the remix to Slam by Onyx. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Last thing is, I did get something in the mail. I got a card for my birthday from my girl Erin.
Yay!
She's always DMing me stuff on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Happy birthday, Rod, smiley face. I'm wishing for you a wonderful day of celebration on Saturday and an amazing year to come. I am sending all my best wishes to you and Karen and all of your loved ones. Thank you for all the joy and laughter you bring into this world. You bless so many lives. Enjoy your fresh and sparkly new year, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
And I love that it has fall leaves on it, because y'all know I'm a big pumpkin spice fall basic white woman of color bitch.
This is your time of the year.
So it's my fave, and I appreciate it. All right, y'all, that's it. We'll talk to you throughout the week. I know Tuesday we have Mike Kaplan coming on as a guest, so he'll be back. And we'll play the rest by ear. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have a great night or rest of your afternoon.